and welcome to the finale of the Engulfing Silence. Previously, the party had escaped from the motel that they had stayed at, where they encountered some kind of a strange entity that had come on a fallen meteorite and fallen into the house of one of the residents of Bolton. The rest of the town seemed to be under some kind of a hypnosis or mind control, seemingly to be controlled directly by this entity. The antiquarian Vadim ended up falling under this power as well, and despite losing several limbs and also his head, seemingly could not be killed while under possession of this entity. Oswald reads from the Necronomicon and banishes it back to wherever it had come from, but not before Raymond got bit on the hand by Vadim's severed head. His hand quickly turned veiny and dead-looking, where he made the executive decision to self-amputate to prevent the spread of the infection. After all was said and done, Oswald and Raymond were carted off by an ambulance to Ipswich Hospital, and the rest of the group rode with Germain the rest of the way to Dr. Fawkes' residence in Ipswich. On the way to the hospital, however, Raymond was visited by an old friend, his severed hand, who had somehow clambered into the ambulance and was there with them on the way, strangling one EMT and attempting to strangle the driver and potentially wreck the ambulance. After struggling and discarding the hand and throwing it out of the moving ambulance, they finally made their way to the hospital in Ipswich, where the rest of the group came to visit them. Once there, Raymond was taken to be fitted with a prosthetic, where the hand yet again attacked, and attempted to strangle one of the nurses, and then go for Raymond himself. Raymond booked it out of the room and back into his hospital room with the rest of the group. After deciding it was probably better to leave, they ran outside of the hospital where Germain was waiting with the car in front of the hospital, who quickly ushered them in and drove them off to Dr. Fawkes' residence in Ipswich. Upon arrival, they used one of the guest houses to change into their nightly attire, and afterwards Germain ushered them into the house, saying Dr. Fawkes was ready for them. And that's where we're picking up.
I would like to once again announce that I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. Ruby and Oswald are just the hottest people here, and that is just the fucking facts.
You said Ruby was hot. You didn't say Oswald was hot. I said Oswald was hot because he's hotter than Ruby.
Well, now Ruby's saying Oswald is hot.
You're both
Yeah,
ugly. Calm down.
Nice try, Butch.
Wow.
And Germain is currently standing at the front door, holding it open for all of you.
Before we go in, I turn around.
Inside.
I turn around and adjust Ray's jacket. I tighten his tie that he most definitely loosened. Make sure he looks
Thank
straight.
you.
Proper.
No, you're allowed to lean down so you can reach.
Yes. Spick and span. All right. Remember, eyes on the prize and keep them out for trouble. Yeah.
Right.
Focus.
I see white. Wow.
Okay.
You see white?
Oh, now I see dimension again. It was loading for a moment. Right.
Oswald and Ray turn and enter first.
Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
the
Ruby
two
follows.
of you go in, followed by Ruby, and then
I went next to Ruby.
I'm sorry,
Oswald
I'm
kind
just-
of, eyes like back over the shoulder, kind of looks up and down, shoots a wink, and then keeps walking with Ray.
Do I notice?
No, can I just say something before we continue? But I imagine like Ruby and Oswald walk in and like in slow motion. Everyone behind them is like, why are they walking so slowly?
There's a fan, but just
Please
for us.
hurry.
We are
Come on.
trying to get to the doctor, guys. Come on.
Raymond, go ahead and roll spot hidden if you want to see if you notice that.
Missed the wink.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
I'm kind of obliviously allowing them inside. Even though the door's already being held open, I'm still holding it open just to feel kind of important.
Like just reaching over Jermaine to hold the door.
Hold it by the top and be like,
So,
I nod, thank you, Raymond, and then walk myself forward inside.
before walking in, what's his face? Vadim is going to take a look at his not his stopwatch, his pocket watch again. He's gonna have that same sad look from the first game, and then close it and put it back in and walk through.
Okay.
how tall does the hat make you, can I ask?
Like 2-3 inches taller.
Are you like almost eye level with me now? Or at least is your hat?
Top of the hat, just
Top of the
below.
hat's like eye level with you, I'd say.
Say brush it against my nose as you walk past.
It walks like past the roast against your nose and you have to sneeze. Because it's dusty.
Exactly.
Just sneezes on my hat.
I'll hold it in.
The camera's like at Raymond's level and you see the hat of Vadim walking by. Like up and down.
It's just bobbing under camera.
Yeah, and as you walk in, Jermaine closes the door behind all of you, and you walk into a very, very nice entryway. There's a like black and white checkerboard floor that you're on with like a very large crystal chandelier above you. And Jermaine says, "Follow me, please," and begins walking down the entryway into a very large open room, and walks across the hallway there, and goes in through an open door. Following him in, you see that it is a large dining room with a very large table with places set for everyone, and an older gentleman who is sitting at the head of the table.
Ooh, fancy.
Dr.
Wow.
Fawkes, I
This
presume.
is essentially what you see. And he rises from where he's sitting at the table and says, yes, I'm Dr. Fawkes. Nice to meet you. And
Pleasant, sir.
walks over
Ruby-
and goes to shake your hand.
Yeah, Ruby, like, before he does that, Ruby goes up and shakes his hands, like, Dr. Fox, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I'm Ruby. It's such an honor to be here.
And he says, "Oh, it's my honor for you being here. Thank you for being able to come."
May I take a picture of you, good sir?
And he says, "Yes, of course." And kind of
Oh,
strikes
beautiful.
like a bit of a stoic pose.
Good roll, good roll, good roll. Fuck. I try again.
I'll try.
I just. What is this?
Oswald,
Ruby is
Oswald
still
stifles
like
a laugh.
totally.
Oh my god.
Ruby
As like
Ruby,
the
Ruby
really
doctor.
flustered still from that fucking wink that Oswald gave her.
Ruby,
terrible.
are you sure your camera isn't broken?
Ah! I got it.
I got this. Go,
Also,
go.
yeah.
Oswald's like trying to stifle a laugh, watching her like fumble with a camera.
After doing
She
just
shoots
like
him a look.
after doing just like 5 rapid fire pictures, and all of them just
Oh,
more gory
fuck.
than the last, you finally like contain yourself a bit and like hold the camera steady and snap like a good like crisp picture.
Ruby's just
I
like,
give
yeah,
Oswald
I'm
a
work it,
very-
death glare.
You're
Yeah,
fucking
me too.
killing
It's
it,
like, I'm
doctor.
so-
You're killing
I'm
these
so
little
sorry,
crap."
Doctor. She glares over at Oswald. Oswald, a bit nervous.
He's smirking, but you probably can't really tell if he's like if it's smug or if it's like you can't read it. There's just a soft smile, soft half smile.
And Jermaine kind of looks around and looks at Dr. Fox and says, "Well, your guests are here, sir. I believe I'll be retiring." And Dr. Fox says, yes, good. You'll be able to take them all back home tomorrow, correct?" And he says, "Yes, of course." And he walks out and walks
That's
out of
his-
the room.
As he's walking out, I was like, "Yes, thank you, Jermaine. You've been such a help. Thank you."
Oh,
like,
the sarcasm. I feel it
just-
dripping from his
but
mouth.
What was like a soft smile is now just like a gigantic,
Shit-eating grin.
but the eyes are dead. Just deadpan eyes. It's only the mouth that's smiling. It's like,
Nice.
yes, thank you, Jermaine. We appreciate everything you've done for us.
Such a kind man.
Of
I'm
course.
So sorry
The
for
kindest.
this. I asked Dr. Fox. It has been a very taxing ride for us. Is there anywhere you think we could,
Brush it up.
retire for the night?
Hi.
Already, we just got here.
We still need to see the artifacts.
And he says,
Yes.
well, yes, we're supposed to have dinner tonight. You did read the invitation, didn't you?
I guess if the boy wants to go to bed, he can. but-
You
He
can
just,
tell
like,
he did.
He just like goes,
Peter will start saying, excuse my friend here. What he meant to say is, do you have a washroom we can freshen up? We forgot to wash our hands for the dinner.
Lads, we literally
yes,
just
yes.
came from.
That is what I meant.
And he
Just
says,
came
this-
from there. Turns
at
to
this
Raymond.
stage,
He's like, did we not just come from there, Raymond?
Can I give Oz like a little nudge? Like, shut up.
He has
Yeah.
no
Let
idea.
them.
yeah, that's fine.
I
like
look
to
over
think
to him
Oz
and
has
just
every
shake my
idea.
Head. I literally just shake my head. Oh my god.
And
I think Oz knows
Goodness
exactly
gracious.
what he's doing, and he's doing it on purpose because it's Vadim.
He's acting like he has no idea what he's doing. Absolutely, as far as all of you can tell.
And Dr. Fox says, but rest assured, I have made rooms for all of you this evening for after the festivities.
Oh, that is
Very
nice
kind of you,
sir.
sir.
Of course, thank you,
Thank
Sad.
you.
Your
And he
lodgings
says-
are
And he
rather,
says,
impressive to what I've seen around the town.
if you like, I can show you up to them, and you can freshen up and relax from your no doubt long journey.
Oh yes, please.
Yes.
That
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 would
would
be
be
so
great.
nice of you.
And he says,
Actually, that
and
does sound
on the
lovely.
way, and he says, and on the way, I can give you the nickel tour. So we're
Indeed.
Be a
sir.
pleasure.
Thank you.
That'd be very nice.
and he begins leading all of you out of the dining room, back into like the main like open room, and he begins ascending up a staircase. And as you're following him, the landing is on the next floor up. And as you look around, you see that there are a number of glass display cases sitting around on this floor, and like the stairs like continue up like on the other side of the room. And he crosses through the room and says, "This is my well, I wouldn't call it a trophy room, but my artifact room, I suppose. Just, you know, little things that I've gotten on my travels. Nothing really of significance."
Your collection.
Yes.
Sounds awfully
personal
like a
collection.
trophy room, if you don't mind me saying.
Yes, we just call that a trophy room. I have several.
And
Turns to Ruby, looks at her,
She's like, that is not impressive.
looks away before she looks back at him. Really good. That's exactly.
Oh,
and he stops at one of the glass cases on the way to the staircase, and looking in, you see that it seems to be some kind of like wooden tribal mask, either from South America or Central America, somewhere in those areas. And it has very ornate decorations on it, and like some feathers in the top part, and what looks like horsehair or ox hair, some kind of like real hair though, attached to the mask.
So if this is his big room of stuff, Oswald would just be doing like a gigantic sweep of like everything, inspecting and just checking to see if anything like rings with what we're supposed to be looking for from the Institute.
Okay.
When you say that, do you mean in like a intriguing way or in kids in Toys R Us kind of way?
With Oswald, they are truly one and the same.
Go ahead and roll a spot hidden.
Spot and success.
Ooh,
Okay,
nice.
cool. Looking around, none of these really come off as like artifacty. A lot of them just seem to be like just benign things that he's collected on his travels.
Trinkets.
There's like the tribal mask, and there's one that looks like some kind of an ancient culture knife.
But nothing that like rings like this. This is something that I should be worried about.
No.
Alright.
More like cool pieces of history.
I mean, you know, it could be like some of these were gotten by like dubious means at some point. Like maybe you don't really know. But
Anyone
beyond
that goes
that,
in tribes, you know that they did some shady shit. But
Yeah.
beyond the point, what needs to be done for the sake of gathering the information culture. However, Oswald is very impressed by just the number of things this man has.
yeah, there's probably roughly about 7 to 8 display cases.
This is not bad at all.
One is like a much larger one, like much taller and a bit wider, and it seems to be like a marble bust from maybe Greece or Rome or somewhere from that area.
Oswald would be inspecting that very closely.
Hey Ruby, make photos of these.
Peter will pipe up once he sees the tribal mask, and he'll say, Dr. Fawkes, I've studied your work. Is this perhaps the same mask that you found when you visited Microcrea?
And he says this mask is from the central part of Peru, actually, and like leads you over to another case. And inside you see that there's what looks like maybe an obsidian, like some kind of volcanic glass, and it is a vase or a vase. And he says, but this I got from Micronesia.
Oh. Could you please grace us with the stories from Micronesia?
Oh, before you do, Dr. Fawkes, would you mind if I took photos of some of these artifacts?
And he says, yes, please, by all means.
Yes.
And he turns his attention back at Peter.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Do mind the
Dreams,
flash,
it
though.
says.
Oswald kind of walks
Yes.
up behind you. Do mind the flash.
Who's the journalist here? You or me, good sir?
Who's the one that studies these artifacts? You or me, madam?
And when
Touché.
and Dr. Fawkes like turns his attention back to Peter and says, "But yes, on the case of Micronesia, we had gone there really just as an exploratory mission. We weren't really sure what we would find there, if anything at all. We know that some areas around it have held significance when it comes to finding artifacts and things from the past, so we figured that Micronesia itself would probably have something similar. Once we got there, there were many old temples and many old religious areas, but they had all been abandoned and forgotten long ago. There's a number of native tribes on the island who still to this day have very little interaction with Western peoples, and they were quite surprised when they saw us.
I see.
But we simply observed and watched some of their customs and left well enough alone. They seemed like they were doing okay.
As he's saying this, he's gonna be writing all this down, and he's gonna ask, have you found any other discoveries? Maybe perhaps you have learned different theories on these artifacts?
And he says, well, we have found a number of things in Brazil recently. That's why all of you are here, as you know.
Right. What do you think links them together?
And he says, well, as far as linking together, I don't really know if anything does, to be honest. It's still very, very early in the research phase, so we're not really quite sure exactly what the link is, if any at all.
Oh, I see.
Suppose that's why you're getting a professional, sir.
If I
And
read this,
he says,
if-
indeed.
Is he bullshitting? If I like, I'm watching him through all this stuff. Does it seem like he's talking out his ass, or is there something that he has thought of that he just doesn't want to mention to the group?
Let's see. Roll a psychology.
Would it be like a psychoanalysis? Because I'm trying to pick apart his brain. trying to analyze
Sure.
if he's lying to me. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, sir.
Exact change.
Okay.
Also, it's being
no,
very
no,
impressive
it's-
here.
It seems like he's being honest. As far as Micronesia goes, they didn't find anything. It seems like It was-
So yeah.
like he kind of sees it as a bust. You know, his time in Micronesia.
That's right. It's like,
Like
oh,
he
it's always,
went for something very specific and never found it, so it's just kind of, you know, almost a failure in a way.
Oh, always a bit disappointing, sir. I myself, as we recently came across an artifact that we attempted to, we decided was worth recovering, and that didn't work out exactly well.
And he says, "Oh, an
So I understand the
artifact.
disappointment.
What was it, if you don't mind my asking?"
Oh, none of import, just one of a few. Caused a bit of chaos, but we made it out all right.
And he says, "Well, sometimes the chase is the real reward."
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
And he continues like past all the display cases and up the next flight of stairs, and you see that it enters into like kind of a narrow hallway. It's not super narrow, but there's at least 3 to 4, like possibly more bedrooms up here, or maybe not even bedrooms, just like rooms in general.
Is it like open, or is there private rooms?
No, there's private rooms. You're
Okay.
you're essentially in a hallway, and there's like a number of doors on each side.
Is there enough for everyone, or is there like 4 to the 6 of us?
No. It seems like there's enough for everyone. From what you can see, there's at least 3 on each side, but the hallway gets a little dark, like, you know, the further you try to look down it, so you can't really tell if there's more doors or not, but you know for sure you see at least 6.
Oswald just kind of like takes his bag and grips it a little bit tighter and looks at the rooms, and it doesn't go into any of them. Just looks at all the rooms and nods.
And he says, "Yes, have your pick, whichever rooms you would like."
Rowan picks the first door on the left.
Okay.
Oswald takes second.
Ruby takes third.
Hey, Ruby, do you want to share a room?
Oh yeah, well, sure. She like opens the door to
Thank
the
you.
room. She thinks like, "Come on
Is
in.
it 1 bed or 2 beds per room?
It's like a single.
We're best
It's
friends."
just a double bed, just a single bed.
There's a big like 4-poster like king size bed, like heart shaped.
Everyone. Oh.
It's got rotations and a chocolate fountain.
Fresh
You
strawberry.
walk in, some like low bassy sax starts playing. Wah, wah, wah.
It's like
So
a
they're
trail.
best friends. It's
Just
with
like a
it's
trail.
like
There's like a
Sappho
trail
and
of
her
rose
friend.
petals like from the door to the bed.
Oh, I forgot I made up this room.
No, the doctor slams the door shut and is like, "I'm not this room."
That's a secret room for later.
the door closes and you just see like a slot open up like on the door. Like, all right, go ahead.
Try again. You open it back, it's a normal room. Whoa, it's crazy.
But yeah, as you all find your rooms, Dr. Fawkes says, "Yes, take some time to gather yourselves and freshen up, and dinner's in an hour, so
Oh, well,
If-
we can
Thank
move
you
on.
for your hospitality.
okay." And walks out and leaves you to yourselves.
I walk into the room, just look around and put my stuff
Yeah,
down.
me too.
Okay.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, and they're very nice rooms, reflectant of the house. You know, they're very large. The interior is made of like a very nice, like dark mahogany, like carved wood panels. The beds are very nice. There's like end tables and a couple sitting chairs and small like desk in each room.
Do we have our bags, or does like Jermaine have our bags or some shit?
I I would say
That's a
that
good
you
question.
guys probably have your bags because you had them when you went and changed.
So
That's true.
given the opportunity, I would
In the
definitely have
guest-
our bags.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
unload
because
all
you
of our
guys had them when you
bags.
changed in the guest house.
Yeah.
So I assume you probably still have them.
Yeah. So then I take the one bag I'm carrying and go give it to Raymond in the 5 bags he's carrying. So all the bags are in the same place.
I take it in the hook. It's like on my arm. Shaky.
It's just like there's like
Is that
back
stable? Can that,
There's,
can that
like-
hold much?
there's like backs on like stacked on his like arms and like you can barely see his
Like-
face, and then Oswald puts the last back on up
right on
the
top
top,
for the
and the face is like gone.
Also, just like throws the bag at me while I'm like full.
In
Gotcha.
each of the rooms, there's like a fresh fruit bowl like on the desk. It has like grapes and bananas and apples and
Nice.
oranges and stuff in it.
Oh,
There's
nice.
like a couple candelabras with unlit candles on them. Should you want candles? And each room has like varied, very large poster-sized paintings in them.
Since the 2 women are sharing a room, Oswald would check his room and then check the other room that didn't get taken since they're sharing and see which one's bigger, and then he'd take the bigger one.
Okay.
Vadim just
They're all
chooses a
roughly about the
random
same size.
Okay, then he keeps the one next to Raymond.
The important question is,
what's that, Vadim?
do we have keys for the rooms?
No.
Fuck.
Are the rooms then not locked?
I was asking, or I was saying that I'd choose a random room.
You're cutting out.
You're cutting out.
Oh,
I
I said I'd choose a random room.
To the what?
I'd choose a random room.
Okay. The doors do lock via a bolt from the inside, but
Oh.
not like a bolt, but it's like one of the turning locks.
The
You know,
little-
with the
Ah,
three
handle
okay.
latches.
So we can
Yeah.
lock the
One that
room.
makes you feel
That was the
better
question.
but doesn't do much.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody had
That'll keep
keys,
the bad
there-
guys out.
Yeah, if somebody had keys, there's probably like a keyhole on the other side where it can be opened from the outside.
Nice.
Okay. What are on display on these innings?
Whoa, Robo Pete.
What are on display on these paintings?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Just giant tits.
there's like
Boobies.
there's between 2 to 3 in each room. It kind of depends on like what room you're in.
2 to 3. That sounds like an illness.
Like what?
Giant. Sorry. You guys. So they should have more than 2, surely.
Yeah, so the one in Peter's room, one is of like a Renaissance era knight. He has like, the silver armor with like the face mask and the big like breastplate.
Face mask. Ahead of their time with COVID.
Great.
Sorry, I had to take that one.
And he's holding a lance with like a cloth on the end of it. And the other one in your room is of it looks like a forest, but all the trees have like faces in the bark.
Ugh.
That's kind of creepy, not gonna lie.
The others, like the one in Oswald and Raymond's rooms.
Oswald and Raymond are in different rooms.
Yeah, I know.
We're not, alright.
The one in Oswald's room is of like an older, maybe Italian-looking lady in a kitchen who's like rolling dough on a table. It almost looks like a medieval type kitchen. And the other one is just like a simple fruit bowl, like a painting of a fruit bowl, like similar to the one that's in your room, but obviously a different. It's arranged differently.
Oswald just kind of stares at the fruit, the picture of the fruit while eating the fruit. Looking at it, like, door wide open, but just like standing in the middle of the room, bowl in hand, eating the fruit, staring at the picture.
That is
He's
such a
not think-
nice scene.
He's not thinking about the fruit, but he's thinking.
That paints such a pretentious picture, man.
Oswald's a prick, dude.
Peter's
We
gonna grab
probably-
a chair.
What's that?
Okay, yeah. Peter's gonna grab a chair and he's gonna stand on it and knock on the painting to see if there's anything hollow behind it, and then he would knock on the wall beside it to see how thin the wall is.
Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah, go ahead.
It's just like
and-
knock knock, and from the other side, Vadim comes back.
But
So yeah,
pants are halfway off, and he's like, "Oh."
go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a spot hidden for me.
All right. Wow.
Oh.
Oh wait, this is a hard. Sorry, that's a hard one.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Hey.
There you go. Okay.
Others.
So you knock on the painting, and the painting feels, like a real painting on your fist. The wall, it does sound slightly hollow behind it. You don't know if it's because there's just, like a hollow area behind it with like insulation, or you don't really know like the layout of the house. But...
Can I mention upon knocking on the wall we do here?
Hello?
Roll a listen.
Me?
Well, whoever's trying to hear that.
Whoever's trying to hear me
Wouldn't-
responding.
No, Oswald's too
Oh,
lost
okay.
in the painting.
Got it. Okay.
Like, hello, and Oswald's just staring, eating a fucking grape. Like rolling it around in his mouth.
He's such a cunt.
Yeah, I guess after that, Peter will go to each room and say, "Have you? I'm sorry, but this is a little bit weird. But excuse my intrusion. Have you knocked on your walls? This is a
Who is-
little
who is this to?
unconventional."
No.
He's going to every room, just
Every-
asking.
Ruby says no.
Oswald.
Alyssa
completely ignores you and
Larissa
keeps eating
probably-
his drink.
Then let's do it.
Can you just
You
fix
you
this
go
back?
and do that. I'm
Okay,
I'm
I'm knocking on the
gonna-
wall.
So meanwhile, Ruby
roll
goes out
spot
and
hidden.
like
Do I hear a knocking
Success.
from my
Damn.
side of the wall since I'm staring at the fruit and the it's like the,
Well,
I'm
listen.
imagining I'm staring at the fruit and they're not Larissa is knocking on the wall that the fruit painting is on that I'm staring at.
he's like
Yeah,
started like, huh?
Yeah, roll a listen. Larissa, like as you knock on the wall, it sounds fine.
Like normal?
Yeah, it doesn't sound.
He really likes that.
Okay.
He's
Exact
super
same
lost in
role.
this.
He
fruit,
really
though.
likes the grapes.
Oswald
Oswald
really-
really said, what the fuck is a thought?
So
Fuck.
meanwhile,
She a
Ruby would like to just have a look at wants to go look at the house, but like she probably passes Oswald's room and his door is wide open. Did
Yeah,
you say?
yeah, door's open. He's just sitting there eating fruit, staring at it.
And
I actually like stood
Ruby
center of the room.
Ruby sees that, and, like peeks in, like takes out the camera and snaps a picture.
Do I see the flash at least?
Oh, let's see.
Do
Oh
you
well, it
care?
didn't go well anyways.
Thank God.
I'm gonna say
Oswald-
that I'm gonna say that if like Ruby goes until she gets a picture, then yeah, you're gonna notice for sure. Because it's
You
gonna
know
be
what?
kind of hard to just be like, light
Did it-
flashing
I see
behind
the
you.
flash, and then I
Yeah, you
turn
see
and
it.
I'm like eating the fruit. The fruit's like halfway in my mouth, and I'm looking at the camera. And you take the picture, and it's actually it looks like a Renaissance painting in and of itself because he's really hot.
Because I'm like,
Just
you know,
looking at it,
stunningly
stopping.
beautiful.
It's
That's
chi-
like-
but
It's like your eyes are going different
it's
like
the
directions
incredibly
and stuff.
photogenic man. It's like you took the picture and he started straightening his tie, type thing. Like he looks weirdly good for some reason in the picture.
like very confused.
Now I do hope
Looks
you don't
at
plan
these
to publish
waves.
that. Yeah.
No, of course not. I wouldn't. It's just, that was just. Sorry, this was just a very funny scene that that you were. Yeah,
He
sorry.
swallows his
So
fruit,
you
I
sets
just I
the bowl
had
down.
to. Like,
And,
she
walks
like
up
gives
to
it to
you.
him.
What's your size stat?
And now because I switched it, it's 55.
55. So Oswald approaches you and then looks up at you because he is size 40. He is smaller than you. And he
That
looks
is
up,
the
but he
funniest
still has
shit.
the exact same amount of confidence. He's just smiling, looking at you. He's like, "May I?" and holds out his hand.
Yeah, of course, here. She's like, yeah, here, you keep it. It's just, that was a very... The other one is
Takes
not
it
worth
and
anything.
like turns his body, so he's like really close to you. But he's like looking at the picture, but looking at it with you. He's like waiting for it to develop. He doesn't shake it because he knows if you shake it, it ruins it.
Yeah.
So he just,
Yeah, I
just
know.
holds it up.
I know.
and holds it, yeah, no, but he's showing you that he
Showing you as an interest.
She's like, oh, you know things about photography.
I know a lot of things about a lot of things. Yes.
Can I just mention, at this point, I'd like to imagine, after going through the rounds of the rooms, you've made it to Raymond's room and are like, he tried knocking on your wall! And just, you're both sit there at this very romantic moment, looking at together and just hear her.
You see the whole.
He's got the drywall knocking off the wall. Ignore
That's
it.
gonna be a lot of
just-
asbestos to clean up.
For the two of them, there's a romantic moment going on, but meanwhile, through the whole house, it just goes.
Well, it's Raymond, so he's
More
gonna
like-
fucking punch a hole. But
Sorry.
like that happens. Ray.
I'm just imagining Oswald just closing his eyes and being like, just ignore him. It's fine.
No, there's definitely
this
in that
again.
moment. He stands
Sorry,
there
I'm
and
just
is
watching.
Is everything all? Is everything all right, darling?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe we have been properly introduced.
Oh, I don't believe so.
He holds out his hand. Oswald. Oswald Slow.
She shakes his hands, just like, Ruby Vernon, but
He
just
takes
Ruby's
your
fine.
hand and bows softly, kisses the top of your hand. Very perfect form. Like you've probably only seen this shit in movie. He's done this shit to kings and queens.
Roll a
And
deception
release-
check.
Would it be deception or is there an equivalent of performance? Because he has. He's rich as
Yeah.
shit.
No,
Is it
no.
deception? Where's
No,
deception?
no. Just wait around. You don't have to.
I'll do it. I'll roll something, man, just for the meme of it. I'm down. Is it persuade? Is it? How do I hit on someone? What's the roll?
Yeah,
How do I
it was Wade, wasn't it?
Suave.
Persuade.
Oh,
Persuade, I guess, yeah.
persuade.
There's also a charm.
Or charm, yeah.
Oh, that's what I persuaded. I persuaded. She's like,
Okay.
she like when he kisses her and she blushes.
Can I ask for permission to ruin the moment?
Do it.
Absolutely, you can. Absolutely.
Okay, I walk
At
out
that
of the room,
moment,
walk
the
past
moment's
him, and I just
passed.
yell, "Yo, Ruby, we still have some work to do."
She's like all like when she says she's like all flattered and it's like yeah you can't really see her because she's wearing makeup. She's definitely like all red and flattered. She's like yes of course I'll be right there.
I saw how shaky you were with that camera.
No, you didn't see that.
I hope
gotta
I'm
be the
not,
altitude.
I
affecting
saw-
your work then.
Oh,
Soft smirk.
not at all.
Ruby,
Yes, I'm coming at she.
I'll see you at dinner then.
Yes, I'll see you at dinner and she follows Larissa.
He holds onto your hand right up until your arms are stretching away. Then let's go. Sends a wink. That time I'll roll a charm on that one. And he gets the charm too. He gets the charm.
Nice.
No, I'm actually blushing at his ring.
Yeah,
Ah.
so
That's cool.
I know
Speak of
how to be hot.
character.
I'm just not hot.
You feel that on a personal level.
This is like total immersion here.
shut the fuck up. Like I
And-
will.
And
Larissa and
Marissa,
Raymond are just sat in the corner like meat bangs.
Don't get me wrong, your characters are ugly as fuck, but in real life you're both hot.
ouch.
We're the hottest people here.
That's like a sweet and salty sandwich. Just you're so ugly, but in reality, you're actually kind of hot. You suck. You suck.
All right, and Ruby goes and follows her and it's like yes.
Oswald's just kind of smirking to himself, but then his hand instinctively reaches and grabs his bag, and then immediately his mood changes and he's like, "Fuck, I forgot."
Just do like the shooter McGavin finger guns.
No, he's he just looks down at his bag, and then it's like he's obviously very happy with what just occurred, but then looks at his bag and just immediately filled with an immediate sense of dread. And just kind of
Aw.
swallows for a second and goes to Raymond and goes to talk plans for the evening.
You come in and you see Raymond and Peter looking at the wall like, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound dull, does it?
And,
I mean,
and what the
Have you
fuck
touched
are you
a
two
wall?
doing?
I remember
Peter says
this.
the wall sounds hollow.
Yes.
This is an old house. Do you have any idea how old this wood is? And then Oswald's gonna go up and then knock the wood. Does he hear anything weird in the wood?
Roll a listen.
Well,
Is there anything weird
what
in
do you
the wood?
think?
And is this in your room?
Back
in
now I'm in Raymond's. room.
Raymond's.
Okay.
Yeah. Raymond's room as well.
You knock the wall, and it does sound like a bit hollow.
Oh,
See, I'm not crazy.
I mean you are crazy, but that's beside the point here.
I'm not that crazy.
There you go, Matt Peter. Very good.
Perhaps we should check. What do you think?
Maybe. Raymond, help me with this. And Oswald goes and starts to move whatever painting is on the wall.
Raymond with one hand picks up the other corner.
Not Peter. Grab the door.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So yeah, you are pulling the painting off the wall, or
Yeah,
just lifting
Mm.
it off the hook.
Pulling it off the wall, setting it down, pulling anything else away from the wall, and Oswald is going to do a full spot check for anything hidden, tucked away, maybe some places where, he would try to hide things, or a latch or something like that. This is
Okay,
probably
so
something
yeah,
he's
roll
used to.
spot hidden.
Nah. You know what? Nah, I'll push my luck on that one. I'll push my luck. I'm down for
Alright.
that.
Okay.
And then the
Because
hand
I-
attacks.
Yeah, so he takes the time and he's like getting really frustrated. So he's gonna take a moment and he's just gonna take a deep breath. He's gonna grab his hands a little bit because his hands are probably a little shaky, for no particular reason. And then clap his hands together, straighten himself, straighten his jacket, tighten his tie, and go and take one more delicate, slower, methodical look throughout the wall and trying to find something. Fuck!
So
What happens?
F.
as you
Do
do,
it like me.
the anticipation with Raymond is just like bubbling and about to boil over, and he like turns around, like hearing like a creak, and like turns around, and as he does, he like scratches you with his new hook, and you take a point of damage.
Ray! The
God, so I'm not used to having a knife on my hand.
Jesus!
like-
Come here.
He like
I don't
scratches,
like that.
he like scratches you on like the top side of like your hand wrist area, and there's like a little bit of blood that's coming out.
I like pull out some of the
Did
the
something
wrap that
happen?
I've got and like wrap it around his hand.
Jesus Christ, Raymond.
Are you right there?
Yeah, we're fine. No, Peter, you should be in the room. You're supposed to close the door.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus,
Do we-
not Peter.
Do we hear any of this?
You
or
walked
just
away. No, you walked away. You ruined the moment. You don't get to be here too.
Oh no, I thought we were still standing in the hallway.
You walked away.
Yeah, no, you and Ruby
You
walked
stole
away.
the love of my life.
I had a shot. No, Mike, don't listen to me. You say wherever they are. I'm not.
No. I would say that they walked away. Larissa did say that they grabbed Ruby and like walked away, saying
Yep.
that there was like work to do. So yeah, I
Makes
would say
Said
that
there was work to, but I don't think I dragged. Did I drag her away?
No, you didn't drag her. You just were like, Ruby, come
no.
on, and then she was like all flustered, and then it was like Ruby, and she was like, yes, I'm coming, and then. she
Well,
left.
You
Well,
left
because
the
the
situation.
because the way that you said it, like it did sound like you were dragging Ruby away. Because Oswald
Yeah.
said that he like held on to the hand till like the last
Exiting
second
the
before.
situation.
Oh no, I actually just want to scold her because she needs her thoughts to be straight during work. Not heterosexual straight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. That's
So
what
yeah,
I say.
I
Her
would
straight.
say-
Her thoughts are
I would
anything
say
but straight.
being busy doing that, you probably don't hear what's going
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like,
Uh,
Ruby's
can,
like
uh,
still all flustered, by the way.
Can Oswald do a bit of first aid on his hand with the wrap that Raymond has supplied, try to get that hit point back?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Ah, nice.
Nice.
Loser.
Can I get points for nice?
Nice.
Come on, man,
Yeah,
that's a nice. That should
thankfully-
be an automatic success.
69 is the critical success.
Yeah. At
Please,
anything, no
sir.
matter if it's a failure or not. Please, come on,
Home
Mike.
rule.
Thankfully,
Like-
somehow you don't make it worse. But yeah,
Yes.
no, it doesn't.
Oh, come on, Mike.
Nice. I'll
Nice.
take it. No, I'll take it.
Wait, the
I'll
roll
take
is still on hard. Is the first aid roll supposed to
Yeah,
be
that
on
was still on hard.
Yeah,
It's
you're
still
still
a
on.
fail.
hard?
But,
Okay.
but here, I'll roll again on regular, see if it's better. Nah.
It's worse.
I'm not
Less
allowed to get
nice.
Okay.
But
What if
still,
it was a
nice.
96?
nice.
Mm,
That would have been
Nice.
yeah.
Clean.
69, 96.
After
Christ.
Oswald dresses his cut, he asks both of them to go to his room and check his wall as well. I heard the same thing in my room.
All right. And then he like cracks his knuckles, shakes his hand because he just hurt his fucking hand.
Oh.
And then,
Be careful, sir.
Shut up, not Peter. starts looking over the wall. He's smiling. Looking over now Peter's wall, trying to find a spot.
Okay, so yeah, roll spot hidden.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So I assume that you're like taking down the painting and like doing like the whole.
Yeah.
Feel what you
Going
were
through the
before.
whole process.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you take off the painting, and on the wall, like behind the painting, is what looks like a small metal safe. Very, very small. It's like smaller than a shoebox, probably.
I give Oz a look,
I shoot
and
Raven.
then I give Peter a slightly different but similar look.
Oswald's got like eyebrow raised, looking over at not Peter.
Yeah, we both have the same look, but like Oz is leaning around me.
What are we
Big
looking
look, and then the same look but smaller.
Eyebrow raised, questioning face, like, that's a safe in a wall when we're
Alright.
alone in a room.
Takeshi,
Right.
we're gonna
Yes.
open this.
Right?
You can either leave and pretend you don't know we're about to do that, or you can be here and see what's inside this.
At this point, I have seen too many things to not be here.
Good men. Takeshi, the door.
Yes, door. Inside this time.
Yes, close the door, stay inside. Yes.
And then he closes the door.
Lock it.
Yes, he locks it.
And taking the safe, looking over the mechanism with Raymond. With my general intelligence and Raymond's knowledge of knowledge of mechanical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try to crack this bad boy.
Yeah.
I don't even
Okay.
know what I would
roll
for that.
locksmith.
Oh fuck.
Can I roll mechanical repair to try and take it apart?
Can I roll?
Like,
can I
undo the
roll
hinge?
Intelligence to try to figure out the mechanism, because I'm not
So-
trying to specifically unlock it.
So, with the nature of how safes are, they're not really made to be taken apart like in such a manner.
Mm-hmm.
Really, they're not meant to be taken apart from the outside. Never would have seen that coming.
Oswald,
Oh.
what did you say you were gonna do?
I'm trying to if I can like take a look at it and try to find a way to like get a better understanding of the mechanism to try to make it easier or something. Like
Can I ask, are we on a high story? And is there a conveniently open window?
Yeah, you are on the third floor.
Third
And-
floor.
They're-
I'm pretty sure if you throw a safe out of the third floor, it's
Yeah,
it's just going to break whatever is inside.
Well, the
Including
safe
the
is
concrete.
the safe is like built into the wall too.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. I
it's-
thought it was like in a.
no, it's not like tucked underneath. It's in the
Oh,
wall.
okay.
No,
Oh.
it's been like built into the wall and.
No,
like,
yeah, I thought it was like a hole in the
Oh.
wall with a safe. in it.
Oh,
I get
no,
it.
My locksmith is literally 1.
Do you know what? I'll roll it.
Okay.
Ray's
sure,
just
why
like
not? Let's all-
spinning it.
You know what? I'll give it a shot. Nah,
You just
let
did the
let me
same thing
try.
I did.
I did.
There's still 2 people you haven't asked to open this thing.
Don't worry
3.
about it.
There's 3.
Don't
No one
worry
put into
about it.
locksmith, huh?
I invest into locksmith. I'm the only one who did, apparently.
Yeah, well,
you're a little
because you're
jailbird.
criminal.
Don't worry
I
about it.
wonder why.
The date's not
Oswald,
there.
Raymond, you think we
I'm
should?
literally right outside, scolding.
Yeah, we're like
Ruby.
both like
And the
probably.
door is closed and locked.
Yeah, but you can always unlock it and get them.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we ask the rest?
I mean,
I should have looked to Ray.
I should have looked towards.
I trust
I
one
should
of
have.
them.
I shoot a similar look back to Peter.
He shoots the same look. Confused.
He's just very confused.
We're all just
Like, I don't know,
squinting
man,
at
I
each
just work
other
here.
and turning our heads.
I shoot a now very different look back at us.
Alright. Here's the problem.
Yes.
I want to kill the big one.
Kill.
She-
who?
Listen, there's 2 reporters. There's the big one and the hot one, right?
Right.
The big one took a picture of me and refused to give it back. That is theft. I want to kill her.
But does that really justify death? Maybe
Does to
we
me.
can just take it back.
No, my identity is very important. If she gives it back, I won't have to. But she refused to give it back.
Let me try to speak to her. Let's not kill anybody else.
I mean, it seems pretty simple to me.
Raymond?
Am I wrong?
No. If Pete is willing to
Oswald
maybe
looks
try and smooth
genuinely
things up,
confused on why you guys are hesitating. He actually looks confused.
if Pete is open to try and smooth things over, this way we'll have to do a lot less cleaning up.
Well, you were talking to her. She seemed to like you a bit. You're both kind of, right?
I mean, I suppose, but I'm
Like,
not much of a talker.
Well, it's all about
Walking
it's just-
monstrosities.
I mean, compatibility. It
It's-
makes
it's
sense.
both. I mean, like, look at Rose and I. We're getting along beautifully. You know, maybe if you swing her your way, maybe convince her, maybe get the picture back. I
Oz,
don't have
I'm
to
a
kill her.
married man.
Look, your wife isn't here, is she, Ray?
You better watch out. You better watch out for.
Wow.
You better watch out for Peter.
Wow.
Then.
Yeah, with this one here, it seems like you won't be married for long. Ain't that right, Pete? Ain't that right, Petey boy? And he like
No.
shakes your shoulder.
You are right. I do not deserve this.
Oh fuck! Listen,
Just
Pete,
realised what you said.
it's how we know we like you. It's how we know. It's how you know we like you. All right.
Well, thank you.
But okay, listen. If you can get the picture, it's fine. I trust Rose. She seems all right. I don't
Ruby.
trust her.
Rose.
Ruby. Hey, I'm tired.
Rose.
Alright.
That's not going
It's
to.
a pet name.
Sound
Rose.
good.
I started. Listen, guys. Actually, quick pause. Started watching Doctor Who again. By the way, good show. Good show. Fun fact. Actually, what just happened? I'm thinking about Rose.
You made a good choice at least.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
My number one waifu.
At first I thought I misheard you, but it was
No,
nice to
no,
get
I've been
Rose, no, it's
saying
Ruby.
Rose 100%. I've 100% been saying Rose. Yeah, no, it's Ruby. Sorry, Ruby. Yes.
Rose is just like your like headcanon name for
Uh,
Ruby.
Nickname.
Rose is the one that got away for Oswald. It's canon now.
Aww.
He has Oswald's been saying Rose because he's a misogynist and doesn't care what your name is.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
But
I mean,
thought
it's
we had a
clearly
moment there.
accurate.
He has a thing for girls with R's in their name.
True. True.
Ruby.
Beautiful women
Rose.
that start with R.
Rhonda.
Absolutely. Rhonda.
Liechtenstein.
Rosalind.
Oh, Ron,
Well, that
don't
sounds
bring,
like a
don't
weird
bring
fetish.
up Rosalind. Don't
Ron.
bring up Rosalind.
Run.
Ron.
Ron Weasley.
Randy.
Okay, no, hey, bring
Alright.
it back. Bring it back.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
sorry.
Okay, but
Dialing
so-
it back in.
yes, if you can convince her, then maybe we can trust them. But that's a lot of convincing. However, your zombie friend's gonna die. That's gonna happen.
I think you overreacted to the
He
whole...
literally came back from the dead.
And that's a good thing?
His head got cut off, it went back on, now he's out there.
But he seems fine now, right?
He's probably a Russian spy.
Vadim, go to one-on-one.
That's racist.
Oh, okay.
I like to imagine.
You there?
Yeah.
Okay. As all this is going on and you're like taking your time, like kind of relaxing and stuff, you start to feel like a little bit tired.
Yeah.
And as you do, you like start to drift off just a little bit. And as you do, you are overtaken by what feels like extremely high heat. And you just hear like a very low humming noise in your ears. And when you come to, you are in in a different place. You're no longer in the house.
Oh, okay. Where am I?
What you see before you is essentially a hellscape. It looks like buildings have been toppled over. It looks like there are chasms in the ground that have like lava coming out of them. You see destroyed cars, destroyed bridges. And looking around, you see like a thing floating in the sky, and it's beginning to like shadow the ground like near you, and it's like looming closer and closer. And looking up, you see that it is a very large, circular, almost like a sun-shaped creature would be the best way to describe it. There are multitudes of tentacles that are coming off of its radius, like flailing in different directions. And in the center of it is a very large, it almost looks like a hybrid between like an eyeball and like a squid's beak. And it is vast. Like, it is enormous. You can't even begin to fathom how large it is. And as this happens, you snap back to reality. We'll go back to town square.
Alrighty.
They're back. Hello.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Hello, hello.
How's
What
it
did
going?
HQ say?
Yes.
So not right?
I said, you guys talking shit again?
Maybe.
No.
We just invented a new
We
hit
wouldn't.
TV show.
Yeah, we just invented a new spin-off James Bond character.
Yeah. What was it? Comedy
Zombie
zombie
spy?
spy. Yeah.
Zombie spy. No, zombie spy comedy.
It's actually a sitcom.
I the first one. Oh my god.
A Zomcom.
Fuck off. Fuck right off. Get out.
Okay, back to the topic.
Yeah, back to the game. Back to
So,
the game.
like, warm bodies, essentially, right?
Yeah, can we
Oh,
ban Corin? Can we get him out of here?
I'm the server owner. You can't ban me.
Could
I'll
you
make
have
I'll
a
make new
romantic
server
zombie
with-
film?
with
Okay,
blackjack
back
and
to fucking
Whatever you guys are doing,
Hold
yeah.
on.
Saving
They're
the
not
world.
that far, they've only just met. Right.
Okay.
And action.
Action.
Next fun, yeah.
So we'll settle
should.
down.
Yes.
Alright, I will wait here. You will put them. I will be sitting right there with my hand in the bag, holding my gun. You all do what you need to with them. If you get the picture, I will let go of the gun. Got it?
All right.
Seems
Ah,
a little
wait a
bit
minute.
dressed. Okay.
Maybe not right now, but just symbology, yeah?
We have to try.
Also, wasn't it
Nice.
Ruby who took the picture and
Yeah,
Larissa
but you
just
gave it
has
to
it?
me.
Larissa
true.
has it and stuffed it, and well, I don't know that, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. I
okay.
don't care about the picture.
Okay.
I think
I
we should
I
gather everyone.
thought that'd be-
Oswald goes and takes a seat in one of the chairs in the room.
Okay.
The two of them go to Larissa and Ruby, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so
Raymond.
Peter is going to, or Peter and Raymond are going to Ruby and Larissa. Okay.
And as they walk closer, it's like you can hear Ruby saying, "But can you believe me? He's very attractive."
I do not care that he's very attractive. I don't know what you see in him. He seems kind of like he seems like a bit of a dick.
He's an attractive dick.
Excuse us.
Oh,
Were you?
Yes.
Yes, you never
middle
heard
of
that.
something?
A hot dick?
You never heard any of this. Yes. Well, how can we help you?
Peter raises an eyebrow and he looks at Raymond. We have just to talk, if you don't mind. Let's all
What's the
speak.
matter? Just spit it out.
Yeah. Come on. Can't be
Well,
that bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
How do we put this delicately?
I don't. You don't have to be delicately. Just say it. I don't care.
Do you need anything from us?
you, Peter is very awkward, people.
I'm a journalist. Get to the point already.
We're very patient
What
people,
we're
darling.
asking is that Raymond and I are actually very big fans of Oswald, and we were wondering if we could have his picture that you have, as he's speaking very quickly.
Was the picture of Oswald? I thought it was Raymond.
It was a
No.
Raymond, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you guys say that Ruby's like
I don't have a
oh
picture of Oswald. What do you mean?
oh well the picture I took of Oswald I already gave to him. If you want, you have to ask him.
Wasn't there another picture from Larissa?
Oh, do you mean the picture from the hospital?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
What about it?
That wasn't of Oswald, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that was Oswald. Was it you?
Yes,
Wasn't it?
me?
She pointed at Raymond. Yeah, was it you?
Yes.
Yes.
I was wondering if I could have the picture.
I'm fully aware that it's not legal for me to keep it, but I want something in return if I give it to you.
Peter will.
Oh, me too, because I took it.
Yes.
Oh, what would you like?
I
Tell-
don't know. Money, information. Either you pay us or you'll
We'll kill you.
owe us
Or
something.
are we asking a favor?
I
As for
I
for
give
her at
Ruby a
least.
look and say, you know,
Yeah.
I know Oswald quite well. Could maybe.
Oh. No, I was about to ask. Whatever she wants, you give her. For me, you tell Oswald if he wants the picture. I want a date with him.
I can.
Of course, after this, isn't that right, Ruby?
Yes, of course. After this, but
I could
I want a date
arrange
with him.
such things.
Okay. Well, what do you think?
So, what are you gonna give to me? Or
We could.
A dagger to the back.
I already
The
said
picture's
a favor. I don't care. If you choose the favor, I just need a way to contact you after this.
I mean,
At
is
this
my
point,
number.
at this point, Peter will start dusting off Raymond, making him look as clean and good looking as possible. Well, my friend here, he is very available tonight and only tonight. A limited time offer.
No, she doesn't want. No, she doesn't want a date. She
I
just wants
look
a
at
good journalist.
Peter like,
No,
excuse
darling,
me.
darling.
He whispers,
no,
"I'm sorry,
darling,
Raymond, I'm
listen.
sorry."
Sweetheart, listen. She doesn't
yes,
mean
yes.
a romantic favor or sexual favor. She means a journalistic favor. A favor in the way of if we need information from you or anything that
Information?
could help us in an article that we can contact any of you two and just give us some information if you have any on the topic that we need.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you
it's-
really think?
It's good for you that you are available. I literally do not care. I'd have a husband or a girlfriend by now if I wanted.
Oh,
One
thank
night
God.
only.
Raymond, I'm sorry, but I have to.
I take out one of Oswald's
Or
business cards.
I have another idea. How about you tell me some of the stories with the paranormal you've had? After all, I plan on doing some private research on that.
I'll whip out one of Oz's business cards and a pen. I have a red marker pen. And I cross out Oz's number, and I cross out Oz's name, and then write Raven next to it with very scribbly handwriting, and write my own phone number on it. And be like, if you ever need some connections inside my organization,
If you know what I
call
mean.
me.
Peter's like, we give you a
And I give
happy
Peter a
ending.
nudge.
Okay, considering the organization is pretty private from what I've gathered, how far will I get with this?
I mean, I am a very high-ranking informant.
Oh, really?
Alright, and this is your private number?
This is yes.
Okay,
Oh.
thank you. Does my dress have pockets? Let's just say it has pockets. Fuck it.
Do you?
You tell me, does your dress have
Yes,
pockets?
it does.
I mean, your
yes,
dress
it
has at
does.
least 2 pockets
It's
because
the
you're using one of them.
She like stuffs the card in her bra and takes the picture
No.
out for it.
No, I just put it in my normal dress pocket and I take the picture Ruby is taking it I
everybody's
have
got
out of
their
my bra and
prison
hand it
pocket.
over.
Raymond like grabs it with like 2 fingers and is like, okay, thank you.
Thank
Hey, well, you
you.
should put it somewhere in case someone tries to steal it.
That is a pretty
I
good place
mean-
for us ladies to hide something because no decent man will touch us there, you know?
Or decent everyone, really.
Slips it into his pocket and says, pleasure doing business. Gives a smile.
Well,
Oh yeah, by
didn't
the way, what are you doing in there?
Yeah, what
Going
that's
group.
I
Just,
heard some
real
knocking.
something.
What have you been doing in there?
Just some furniture rearranging.
Why? This isn't your house.
Yeah, Oz is very fun.
But that's not Oz's room.
Raymond.
Yeah, but
shouldn't
he
we-
doesn't like being in a room that's got the vibe off, or I don't really know much
Mhm.
about it.
He
Well,
seems like
if you
that
need
kind of
help,
guy.
just ask. I'm sure either
Yeah,
of us will
I'm
be
sure
able
he
to help
can-
you.
Assist somehow.
I think we should tell them, Raymond. What do you think?
Tell us what.
About the
What are you hiding?
phenomenal rearrangements we're doing. If you would,
Yes.
can I ask, is there anyone else in the corridor?
No, the corridor is empty right now.
Cool, no staff.
No,
Okay, I'll just kind of like give him a head nod of follow me.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I
right this
guess
way.
we.
I
we
cast
do.
head nod of follow me. Now
Most
that
commanding
can be
head
cast
nod.
ritually.
At that point, Peter will also try and find Vadim. Sorry, Raymond. I must find my friend.
Oh yes, I
I
haven't seen
mean-
him all evening.
You know which Ruby's in, right? He should be hard to find.
Yes, yes. Let me just go fetch him very
Maybe he's
quickly.
taking a nap or something. I could use one.
Yes. Vadim?
Alright.
Vadim? As he knocks on the door.
Yes?
Hi, my friend. I found something in our room. Everyone else is gathered there. Would you like to join us?
No?
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Well then.
Sure.
Oh, okay. You are
Hands
funny.
down, dick in hand.
Now be out of the minute.
Why are you guys so horny today? What the fuck?
What?
That's
Ruby
ridiculous.
Dumbledore.
Ollie, are you asking that question?
True. I stole both of your sexual energies. and now it's all mine.
Combine into the superpower.
I am.
Use.
By the
Vadim-
power of grace.
the beam like begins seductively
By the
eating
power.
banana out of the fruit bowl.
Just like slowly sucking on the
Okay,
tip of the
back to
banana.
the scene.
Moving on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Vadim, shall we?
No. I'm just kidding, yeah.
Jesus
all right.
Christ.
And we make it to the room.
Poor Peter is so confused.
Yeah, poor Peter.
Or
No,
not Peter.
what? Yes.
Poor not Peter, yeah.
Not Peter.
Poor not Peter.
Peter.
Okay, I guess we're all in the same room now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
We
Do
found
we
this.
see the safe in the wall?
I pointed out to the.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard to miss. It's like fully exposed.
he was
It's
like,
a safe in a wall, so.
Oh,
as
would you like-
everyone
what- what's-
comes in,
what's that?
Oswald's just standing there looking at it again. He probably
Okay.
he probably tried one more time. Didn't work.
Ruby. Okay,
do you guys,
Ruby.
Do you guys need help with that?
Wait, before you say anything, Ruby sneaks up behind him and looks over his shoulder for a solid minute. It's like, what's that?
Do I
what
know,
what you looking at?
Would I know that they're approaching me because he actually is incredibly perceptive?
Come on, he's so funny.
Is that a stealth for them or a spot hidden from me? Or is that
Do I have to stealth?
Ruby, roll a stealth.
Ah, damn it. Oh, that's a success! Would you look at?
Pretty good.
Damn.
She
Nice.
sneaks up behind him, stays
Yeah.
there like for a solid, like for a few moments, like, and then she's like, "What you looking at?"
Fucking hell! Jumps down and like puts his dukes up, and then immediately sees it's you and like snaps to attention and straightens his tie. Like, well,
Oh, sorry, darling, I just had to.
I know, that one.
fuck off, Ray.
Hey,
Oh,
I
fuck
do
it out.
do believe this is a safe in the wall.
Yes, I was just messing with him.
Ah.
It is, but yes, your friend is correct. It is a safe in the wall,
And there's no
Do you
key,
need
I'm
help with that?
supposing.
I'm good at reading things, not very good at opening them.
Larissa is pretty good at that, actually.
Well,
Oh, is
I've
that
got
right.
I've got some rookie wisdom on that. No promises.
All in all, like the size of the face of the safe. Think of like a box for a cell phone. It's like roughly about that size.
Okay. So
Okay.
Pretty tiny.
I also have Locksmith 1.
But like, looking at
Same,
like
yes.
the wide side of it, like top down, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm more likely to open it than you are, but not very likely. Okay, let me try this. Damn it!
Oh,
God
damn
damn
it,
it,
I-
that looks so-
I'm using my luck point in that. Fuck it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Face explodes in your
go.
face.
It's literally just one luck point.
And
Just
you
one luck point, yeah.
There you go. So that's a success.
Yeah.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, now let's see what's inside.
So you do manage to pop open the safe, and inside are a number of what looks like news clippings.
I check the news
Ooh.
clippings because
Let's see
I'm a
what that
journalist.
is. Yeah,
I
Ruby also looked
hope-
over because maybe it's one of our articles or something.
I gotta stand in front of the door.
You should be able to see it.
Oh. Sick.
Oh.
News clipping. Yeah.
Oh, news
Good.
clipping.
There should be two.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
February 28th and October 2nd, right?
Of different years, but yes.
Yeah.
We'll read 1929 first. Returning
Yeah.
today from
Okay.
an expedition to Brazil is Dr. Percy Fawkes, anthropologist, inventor, and bona fide adventurer. A notorious doctor is known to be a recluse when in his hometown. Is only seen in public at meetings and conventions. The year prior to him leaving for Brazil, he won a prestigious National Scientific League Award for developing a high-range radio transmitter adapted for the U.S. Army. When asked about his return, he is quoted as saying, "I don't come back empty-handed. I bring many gifts." He has said he plans to get back to his lab to catch up on the work he missed while in Brazil. That he has brought a few many things back to stimulate his attention lengthily. Now that's an innuendo. And pictured
Edwin.
here is Dr. Fawcett's camp just outside Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where this interview was conducted by Damon Wensley Jr. Photo taken by Abigail Reeves, courtesy of the Arkham Times.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Do we know these people? Yeah, I was about to
we
say, do we know these
appreciate-
people?
We
Uh,
appreciate you reading it out to us, but keep it down.
roll a history check.
Oh, damn it.
Um,
Come on. Ah,
You know,
damn.
have been
Yeah, I
working
failed
on my
that.
voice for the radio plays back home.
Oh.
You do know them.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So Larissa, you know that hold on, let me pull it up again. You know
Hey.
that Damon Winsley Jr. is one of the lead journalists for the Arkham Times, and Abigail Reeves is also a like a senior photographer there.
Okay.
She's
I tell the
covered.
others.
She's like taken like many different pictures of like very famous things. She covered a article in France regarding the Eiffel Tower, and also has been known to frequent speakeasies.
I see.
Okay. I tell the others.
Peter will say,
Heard of them, I think.
I don't mean any offense, but he did say he recruited the very best. If he was the very best, why would he recruit you two instead
Oh,
of
excuse you.
these other
In
two?
recent
no,
years, we've
no,
been
no
very
offense.
successful.
You did literally just say that they are higher up in your exact same company.
Yeah, but maybe have you
yeah.
think about that? Maybe that they're
Larissa.
busier than we are.
Larissa
That's
and
wondering.
Pixel, go ahead, or actually no,
Pixel?
just
Larissa
Larissa.
and who?
Larissa and Ruby. Larissa, just you roll another history for me.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay. Let's go.
Oh!
Wow.
Damn.
So, the reason, more than likely, not that like it's concrete why, the reason that Damon Winsley Jr. doesn't cover the story is because he's been known to be very biased and writes articles more on opinion than investigative work. But there is like a large group of people who enjoy his writing. So, and
Okay.
Abigail Reeves more than likely isn't covering this story because of her alcoholism.
Okay.
So we are the best in that, in scientific and in
Technically.
not being alcoholics
like-
matter.
Well, I mean,
It's like
Ray
one
and
of
I
those
are both
things where she
alcoholics. What's
like
the problem there?
she like used to be the best, but she's kind of like fizzling out now because she's kind of become more of an alcoholic than caring about work.
I'm
Yeah, you should
literally
prob-
mostly drunk right now. What's the problem?
Oz,
Well,
in
you
our
don't-
line of
you
work,
don't-
alcoholism is a professional hazard.
That
And you don't have to hold a camera, no, do
Camera,
you?
yes.
No, but I do have to handle antiques of impossible value.
Yeah, and we've seen how well you do that, Captain Smasher.
That was very specifically on purpose. Thank you.
I mean, there's a difference between holding things and making a picture, because a picture you don't,
Because-
you shouldn't have shaky hands, otherwise it will be
not
unrecognizable.
something literally so old it will crumble if you hold it wrong. But yes, of course.
All right.
Taking a
it's
picture
Okay.
It's
very
like, don't insult my line of
Take your
work.
word for
My line
it.
of work.
no insult. There was no insult. All I am saying is that some things are more intricate than others. That's it.
Fair enough.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not saying, I'm not discounting the difficulty of your efforts. And I do agree. I certainly could not do the job you do. I mean, the picture of all of us outside and that and he pulls out, now seeing the fully developed picture, and this work of art right here. Trust, there's skill in this. I am well aware. And he like tucks it into like his front jacket pocket right there. Pats it twice.
Thank you, Carlin.
Nice.
I like how it's
Everyone's just
Oz.
staring at him while he's like fiddling with his words and trying to flirt with her.
After like a second, Ray just goes,
She immediately turns away because she's blushing again.
Larissa, will you read the other one?
Okay.
This is getting awkward.
Dr. Percy Fawkes missing, has not been seen in months. After returning home 4 months ago, Dr. Percy Fawkes has not been seen or heard from by the public, despite announcing a briefing of his travels and discoveries, which he promptly backed out of last moment, and has not been seen since. He has had occasional visitors, speculation saying shady business associates or members of his group of travelers. Whatever the case, speculation has also been that Dr. Fawkes may be working on something new to present to the National Scientific League this coming year. Beyond his brilliant scientific studies in his home lab, Dr. Fawkes was once known for hosting lavish parties and balls catered mainly to investors and those of the scientific field. But those days seem like years ago to most people who used to frequent them, including how do you pronounce this word?
Liaisons.
Liaisons and ex-assistants. The estate now seems dark and empty, but could come back to life one day in the future when the esteemed mind has concluded his current studies.
Ball.
Of course.
Balls!
a man-
I
a
do-
man
I do
throws
love-
himself into his work, and they try to make him seem like he's insane.
Balls. Oh, I would have loved to go to one of these balls. I do love dancing.
I believe we are currently at one. It seems
Oh,
at least that's
no.
what he's planning for. At least an evening of extravagance. Have you not seen these rooms?
Well, yes, but like an actual ball would have been nice,
Well, perhaps
on the dance floor.
Perhaps the old man has something in store for us yet.
Perhaps.
Either way,
Do
I
you
am
believe?
very excited for dinner.
I am
Is that-
too.
Cozying
why
up
do you-
closer and
But
closer.
Sorry, but why do you think he has these locked away in a safe?
I think he's
These
trying
news
to
articles.
hide something.
Hide
Do you think
something,
so?
why?
What would
Can
you?
I look at the safe and see if there's like a hidden compartment or something in it?
Sure. Roll spot hidden.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, boogers!
Okay.
Just imagine us standing
No,
there
that's Oliver.
saying
That's
that.
100% Ollie.
Poggers.
Imagine.
I love
Oswald
I love
would
how-
never say poggers. Not in a million years.
I love how Ruby's basically just brain AFK the entire time, and Larissa's doing all of the work.
Oliver, that is really quite poggers.
I feel like if anyone's AFK, it's me.
Absolutely fucking poggers.
I said brain AFK.
Brain
Um,
AFK.
Okay, so looking around inside, you see that there is like a latch, like a pressure latch. You like push down on it and it clicks up, and it's like
Ooh.
a hidden compartment.
What's in it?
What's inside?
Inside of it is another picture.
Oh,
Oh.
Picture. I take out the picture.
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 Pixel.
Oh, picture of the. Oh, tell me side.
Oh.
Ooh, oh wow, look at that. That is beautiful.
And
Never seen anything quite like it.
and scribbled onto the back of it, it says Brazil.
Oh,
Just the word
Wow.
Brazil.
that is so beautiful. I've never seen.
And
Wow.
this must be where he acquired...
Sorry, Brazil, 1929.
so this would be where he acquired the items we will be inspecting this evening.
Oh.
But the
Oh,
question
wow.
is, why did you put it in the safe in a hidden compartment if it's just a normal picture?
Picture, yeah.
Yes,
I don't
but
get
a
it either.
safe In one of
I
our
have an idea.
rooms.
Is there any candles nearby?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are.
I
There's
take a
candles
candle
in every room.
and I put it behind the photo to see if there's any hidden words on it.
Genius.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
quite smart.
Go to one-on-one.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Are we
oh.
not all there watching him do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You see the Deem look at the picture and seize up.
There it is.
Now can we go to one-on-one?
Yeah.
Hello.
So, as you hold the picture up to the candle, there's no writing, but the picture itself begins to change. The picture of the temple begins to like fade out, and you see that there's new like lines, and it's a new picture that is like forming as the old one fades out,
Mhm.
and it looks exactly like what you saw in your previous vision. The same entity, I should say. The
Huh.
large, sun-looking entity with like the squid type beak.
Mhm. And only I can see this, no one else can.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no. Yeah. Okay. I suppose everyone else would see it, but they don't. They wouldn't know like what you saw previously. So we'll hop back into whispers, and I'll describe it to them too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, hey guys, yeah, we're
God.
completely
Hey.
country neutral here. We're country neutral in this chat.
Alright, we're almost country neutral in this chat. We already have very public bias.
That's
I say we.
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
America.
Fuck England.
Fuck America.
Fuck Germany.
I was gonna say, first of all, ow. Secondly, fair play.
Okay, so continuing.
So yeah. All of you that are like watching Vadim do this with the picture, roll a spot hidden, I guess. I guess like whatever like
Yes!
perception is.
Yes.
Yes.
Spot hidden.
There we
Oh,
go.
there's a
wow.
A.
Outside of the spot hidden, do I recognize Vadim seizing as what happened to me with the Dreamcatcher? Like, does it seem familiar?
Roll occult.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems familiar. But
And
as
What
as
happens to
Vadim
us?
is like looking at this picture, you see, because I'd say all of you as a group passed.
Okay, like a group check. I'm alright with that.
Yeah,
Raymond
just,
is definitely alright with that being blind as fuck.
out of the averages.
The two
I would say all of
Brits.
you passed as a group.
I
So-
rolled a 100 again. That's 2.
So,
Two this session.
looking at this
Rough.
picture, as Vadim holds it up to the candle and like the light shines from behind it, the picture of the jungle and the temple begin to melt away, and another picture begins to form like in its presence, and it is of a circular looking thing, and it has like many tentacles coming off of like the edge of its radius, and it has like a singular, almost like a mix between like an eye with like a squid type beak in the very center.
So your wish came true, Alex. That is the weird
Good
stuff.
job.
He said
Thanks
said
a lot.
tentacles.
Oh, that's just a biblical angel. Don't worry about it.
And this image begins to slowly form as the picture of the jungle like fades away.
Is
That's
Vadim
not
unconscious?
terrifying at all.
Ruby's very shocked and scared.
Um,
as you can
all
see.
of all of
Vadim
all of
looking?
you actually roll sanity.
Yeah, fuck. Come on, I've been doing so well on sanity. Come on.
Including Vadim?
Ah, it's success.
Including Vadim?
Has it not rolled? Has it rolled yet? Ah,
Everyone
okay.
succeeded.
Vadim won.
Yes!
I think he did. He
Yes.
better have to roll sanity.
Vadim too, yeah. I should have had you roll one for that first time as
Ooh.
well, but we're... Okay, so just one. Alright, so
Does he go crazy? Does he go crazy for 10 minutes?
we'll see. Yes, he does
Oh.
actually.
When
Shoot.
the DM starts laughing, it's a bad sign.
So yeah, Vadim, go ahead and roll a D100.
How much sanity damage did I take?
6 total.
Okay.
Ooh.
65.
Middle of the road. Okay.
I actually only did a D6 for that one, and I rolled a nat on it.
Jesus.
That's rough.
Damn.
65. Okay. Let's see.
Middle of
What
the
is that?
road. Maybe not too bad.
Yeah, who knows? Ah, okay.
You're afraid
You
of
have ichmophobia, a fear of pointed knives and sharp objects,
We're about to
And,
eat
That
dinner.
sucks.
and like pointed objects. Oh, wait. Raymond, I need you to roll me a D100 for
Oh,
your
shit.
Oh, yeah. I might go to
For your
sleep.
sleep thing.
yeah for
Yeah.
your narcolepsy.
Okay, wait, so
Yeah,
fear
that'll
of
be fun.
knives and pointed objects?
Or roll a D8. Sorry.
Does Raymond's? What about Raymond's hook?
I got a 5.
Okay, yeah, you passed.
Oh,
Um,
I thought you meant I like
Passed out.
passed. No.
That's the way.
He died
Oh.
on spawn.
Oh yeah, no, you passed the check. So,
Alright.
Yep.
I
Died on.
succeeded.
You
So-
pass. Oh, like.
but yeah, so
Uh,
Vadim, you now have a fear of knives, pointed objects, and other sharp objects.
Vadim like looks at his cane sword and like starts shaking.
It's like-
Question. As a living pointed object,
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say
Yeah.
like the side of your hook is like enough to like
should
get
cork
it
it.
going.
Put cork on it, please.
well,
And-
Everything all right there?
Vadim, are
Like-
you alright?
Yeah, like Ruby also you reaches out to him and is like, "Is everything alright, sweetheart?"
Vadim just starts screaming.
She like jolts back as she tries to reach out to him. She's like, "Oh, okay."
Oswald goes to grab
and
the
this
fucking
effect
weapon
lasts
from
for the
him.
next. This effect lasts for the next hour.
Oh, great.
Says,
I'm getting a blanket and I'm putting it on top of Vadim.
Oswald's gonna try to snatch the cane sword from him.
He's
So probably,
not willing to give the cane sword because he doesn't want a sharp object to go into another person's possession.
You're afraid of it, not afraid of being stabbed by it.
Yeah, you're like afraid of it.
Not just like it's more a fear of the thing. Like I want to get it away from me rather than.
It is your
Yes.
irrational
Okay.
fear of pointed
Yeah.
objects.
Okay, so then I don't resist him taking it then.
Yeah. Your mindset would be get this thing as far away from me as you can, and I never want to see it again.
And you see that for the entirety of Raymond's right fucking arm, because it's ended in a point.
I am currently stood by the door though.
And
Door
I'm
man.
putting a blanket on Vadim. To calm him
Vadim,
down.
everything will be alright.
This fucking.
Oh, that's
I
not good.
was gonna ask him what he saw, but I don't know if he's in any state to talk now.
I mean,
So
I guess
that's
we
just
all saw what he
squeezes on the
saw.
ground. That's
saw that-
Can we quickly maybe like clean this up because I'm sure he's made quite a.
Yes,
commotion.
everything back in the safe, please. Clippings, Miss La Missa, was
Fabian?
it?
Miss Fabian?
Fabian, beautiful. May I?
Sure.
And takes the news clippings, puts it all back, sees the compartment, takes the one that you took in. puts
As you
it back and
guys
recloses.
do this, you hear like one of the house servants like walk down the hall, just
Uh-oh.
I am holding the door
That's-
closed.
and
Oswald.
just like walk down the hall and just walk by.
Ooh. Ooh.
Nice to see that they don't care about me.
Maybe they seen crazier shit.
To be fair, this isn't your room.
Well, I mean, they're not like walking through the room; they're like walking in the hallway outside.
Yeah.
And Raymond's blocking the
Yeah.
door so they can't see in.
Yeah.
So
I'm holding
So I assume that Vadim would be in the room, right? You're not
Yeah,
in the
in-
hallway, are you?
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't see you.
and Oswald is finishing up putting everything back in the safe and then closing it and spinning the dial so it looks like it's been reset.
And let's put the painting up.
Yep, reset the room as best we can so it looks like nothing was moved in the first place.
Okay, cool.
All of this with a wrapped up hand.
Yeah.
Oh, she just like Ruby probably notices that, and like she grabs his hands, like, well, what happened there?
Fucking careful. Does hurt.
Sorry.
Oh, does he?
Romantic music.
Oh fuck
Raymond
off,
says-
Ray.
Holding up his missing hand.
Yeah, and now you have a fucking knife attached to it that you cut me with, you lug.
Don't say
Oh,
that.
I'm sure-
Vadim will start screaming again.
He's still screaming under the fucking blanket.
How do
Might as well
Russians
just-
scream?
He's just
They scream like
screaming.
any other person, you dumbass.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
what
yeah,
does screaming
yeah.
sound like with a Russian accent?
I think the old
You should just-
gargoyle just. I
You
think the
just
old
scream,
gargoyle
yeah,
just.
yeah, yeah.
I think the old gargoyle just earned a new nickname, Captain Hook.
By the way, screaming with Russian accent doesn't sound any different because I, the person who's actually speaks German, screaming doesn't sound different in German compared to English.
Okay, but to be fair, a Russian accent is much thicker than a German accent.
Then scream with
know,
a
but-
Depends
deeper
on how
voice.
thick your Russian accent is.
Okay, so screaming. Okay, screaming always sounds like.
Scream is determined by pitch,
Oh,
not by
fucking-
accent.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay, yeah, but
I
some
missed
people
out a bit.
So
my-
you're
my-
just
my
screaming,
laptop
but
was
it doesn't matter what it sounds like because it's muffled.
Alright.
You've got a
Unless
fucking
they're
blanket
literally-
wrapped over your head.
Unless they're literally screaming like in a specific language. If they're just like screaming, then no.
just
Scream-
scream, just
That was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
etymology
yeah,
of
yeah.
screaming.
Like, like if they're screaming words in a language, like, oh,
I
I don't know any
thought
German.
just-
but-
Screams in German.
Screams in German.
Screams.
No, that's what the
Fucking curse
subtitles
words.
just says. Screams in Russian, 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Muffled Russian screaming.
Oh, by the way,
Anyways.
I'm not trying to strangle Vadim or anything. I'm just putting a blanket on top of him so he's comfy and
Hush,
maybe
little
cover his eyes a bit.
baby, don't you cry.
Okay.
It's more lay down
Anyways.
rather than garrot you.
Like, Ruby like looks back at Oswald's hands like, is it? Can I somehow help you with it?
I mean, if you can, I tried. This rap's all I've got, really.
Mike, can you?
It's
Mike, roll me a first aid check. My laptop is restarting again.
Okay. No problem. First aid.
Middle column.
I
I
got it.
don't think I'm that good at first aid.
Oh,
so
no.
you can try.
You got a 90.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Um.
she doesn't have a first aid kit.
Damn.
Well,
Hey.
help.
Hey, that's pretty nice though.
Critical.
Okay, so can we play the rule that 69 is an automatic success?
Please,
Best
last
roll.
one, please.
Best roll.
No.
Please.
Mike, please. It's the last
Please.
one.
I'm
No.
serious
Alright.
about this,
All right.
please.
I'll tell you what. Once more. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
69.
There you
Reroll 69.
Yeah,
Can we do
reroll
that house
69.
rules? Reroll 69s.
So yeah, Ruby patches you up.
Yay, 1 hit point back.
Yay!
You like unwrap it and put
Great.
an actual band-aid
And
on it.
Dr. Fawkes comes up the stairs and
Uh-oh.
knocks on your doors and says, dinner is about to be served.
Again,
It's your-
like how he doesn't
your
care about
convenience.
screaming.
I look at Peter Pleasant to be like, respond. This is your room.
Yes, Dr. Fox will be down there in a minute. Thank you.
And he says, splendid. And you hear him walk down the hallway and back down the stairs.
So if the room looks like how it was when we came in, I guess I'll stop bolting the door with my meaty fist, and we can leave.
Right, you just see like the maid walk in and just, oh, Dios mio, and
The,
drop like the
Oswald-
bucket and like all the stuff, like all the cleaning stuff, like
the lemon Lysol drops to the ground. No, Oswald fully resets the room to almost exactly where it was,
okay.
like as close as he can, and then we open the door, and hopefully after amount of time being away from pointy objects and the cane sword hidden underneath, not Vadim's bed. I wouldn't put it in. I put it under Peter's bed probably while he was all wrapped up, and
Okay.
then came back and like gave the signal to Larissa to let him come out. It's like, see, no, oh wait, no, hold on. Took the bandage that was wrapped around my hand, and now that Ruby fixed me up, I'm gonna take it and wrap up the pointy end of Raymond's hook and just be like, no more incidents. Yeah,
I mean,
Put like a cork on the tip of it.
just rip it off if you need it. Right? Pull
Alright.
right here, and it'll all come undone. Yeah.
perfect.
But guys, how's he gonna eat?
He can.
I've
just
got-
hold it.
Will
Finger
he
food.
be okay?
He's got
Barbarous
a
job.
hand.
I can help. It's fine.
He'll manage.
All right,
That's
Vadim.
very nice of
We're
you.
gonna let you out now, okay? No,
Alright.
don't freak out, okay?
Okay.
All
Oh,
right, Larissa.
did you
You
guys?
wait.
Everything's alright.
I'm freaking out, man.
Okay, I'm kind
Freaking
of
out,
stepping.
man.
I'm kind of stepping away from him, and I pull up the piece of the
You pull out a knife.
blanket. No, piece of the blanket that was like kind of above, covering his eyes.
Vadim immediately starts screaming again. No, I'm just kidding.
Why? Yeah, I shoot him in the mouth. Oh, just kidding. See, just kidding, Corin.
Exactly. That's what that's what makes it funny. No, okay. But basically, Vadim just like slowly rises and still like quavering though. Quavering?
Alright. Listen,
She's like,
if you need to
Ruby-
sit out the dinner, you can.
Yeah.
There's going to be pointy things. There's going to be forks. There's going to be knives.
I
You
can
can't
just,
just-
we can tell them you weren't feeling well, maybe a bit of nausea.
Yes.
Maybe you just sit on the far end of the table and eat with your hands.
You could have canapes.
Yeah, you know, like maybe get some chopsticks.
Those are
But
pointless.
those pointy as well.
They're not very pointy though. They do have like stub tips.
Have
Yeah.
little cheese on crackers.
Oh, maybe. Oh, but the crackers might be squares.
Maybe they have chicken fingers.
Chicken fingers do sound lovely.
Alright, can you not say chicken fingers in this weird world where you've had with faces, because it's making me think of some very weird chickens with real
fingers.
hands.
It's fingers.
The chicken with the arms
The hand
crossed
chicken
in front of
monster.
it. Yeah.
Okay, back on
You know
track.
how to put them.
Vadim, will you
Definitely
be
gonna write
okay?
that one down.
Oh no.
What?
Can you keep it together, man?
No. I'm just kidding, yeah.
Alright, then. Jesus.
Jesus.
Alright, whatever.
Corin, I will slap
If
you.
you scream at the table, I'll shoot you. Yeah, and then Oswald leaves.
Alrighty
Oh.
then.
I'll make sure he doesn't shoot you. I don't know how much.
You
I
will be
know
fine.
about that.
Ruby,
I'm
like,
just going to assume he won't shoot anyone in front of someone.
oh,
I'll ask him
I don't know about
politely.
that. Ruby, like, kind of ropes, Vadim's back, just like, you're gonna be alright, darling. Yeah, if you need anything, just let me know. Okay?
Is
Alright.
Vadim not going to dinner or?
Vadim is.
Okay, he is. All right. Just checking. Okay, cool.
So Ruby's also going to go downstairs.
I walk next to Ruby and I say, "That's weird. Usually people ask why I'm able to pick locks, but I guess they don't
Oh, well,
care."
maybe they've done some shady things as well. They surely kind of seem like the type of people.
Well, apparently not shady things involving locks.
Oh yeah,
Hello.
obviously that's not their field of work. Oh,
We're
well,
usually
so-
used to a little more brute force methods, if I'm
Oh,
honest.
Jesus, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend
No,
you by
no,
saying
no,
I said
Right
anything.
behind you.
I'm not incompetent.
I'm very sorry. I didn't mean that in offense. Where we've obviously also don't have a too clean slate,
I
Especially not
believe we
me.
have all
especially not litter. So yeah.
done
You
something.
see, you see a slight smile appear on Raymond's.
So, do you guys want to hear the story or not?
As
Uh,
always.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when I was younger, I often got into fights because people thought it was hilarious to make fun of me and my accent, and I beat them up. And I think that one time I took it too far, and I think I broke a guy's neck or spine or something, and
Oh.
I got into jail. And then my parents disowned me.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Well,
I made some great friends in prison, and one of them was a thief, and she taught me some stuff. Another one was a weapons dealer, but that's another story.
Uh, where does Ruby come into all this? How do you know that?
We met. I've always been like interested in journalism, and that's also what I've studied. And we met on the job, and we got along, and now
Yes,
we're a
we-
team.
Yeah, we just met on the job. She came in one
And-
day and we got
Coincidental
teamed up.
pair.
And she writes the best articles and I take the best pictures. So
And,
they do.
Yeah, and that's also the reason why I'm often involved, why I'm always ready to fight. From my experience from before jail, I know there can always be a fight, and during jail, I learned it's always good to have a small knife with you.
I agree.
That is true.
I'm glad you are both on our side.
Yeah, you
having
really
a-
had
being-
someone.
Yeah, being on a bad side of a journalist isn't always that great. It's never great, actually.
I'd know.
What me and Raymond? Have you met other journalists before?
Let's say in our line of work, it's not uncommon.
Oh.
There's a reason you
see.
haven't heard of us. Mostly a lot of running around, keeping things quiet.
I see. How long have you known, Oswald? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, it'll have been good some years now. When was our first job? I remember when he first walked in. I met him first at a underground street boxing ring. See, I grew up in Millwall, in a rough area of the borough, and to try and earn a bit of living, I'd do some underground street fights. As it turns out, Ozzy was doing some investigative work on something in the area, and it led him straight into one of those street fights. He took a bit of a shine into me, asked for a bit of my help on the job, because I knew the people in the area, and we just kind of bonded over that work. He gave me a bit of a job as kind of like a bodyguard almost at first, but we're more like partners now, I like to think.
How do you met your wife?
Yeah, tell us about your wife.
Do you know I have a wife? Have I mentioned I have a wife to you?
Yeah,
you
you
have.
said
it
I'm married
multiple
to-
times in
Yeah,
front of
I've
the
said
group.
it to you. I don't know if I've said it in front of them.
in front of the group, multiple.
No,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you
You've mentioned it.
Yeah, you did.
when you
yeah,
offered.
Right, cool.
Yeah,
your
when you were
services.
offered us
I'm a
sacrifice.
married man. Like a kid. Also,
very
Oswald, when
catchphrase.
he left earlier, he left and he went ahead to try to find the doctor during this whole conversation.
Cool.
I tried to mention that, and then we're like, oh, backstories. I'm gonna shut up now.
My wife I first met actually on one of our jobs, me and Oz.
Oh.
Wow.
We were out with Stephen. God bless him. And
I'm sorry about that.
yeah, no, it's alright. First introduced me into when we were in Paris.
Petty.
France.
Yeah.
Petty.
We were out on some work abroad. It were it were an unpleasant job, let's say. But
I see.
I got into a few rough patches with some well, I was gonna say unsavory folk, I'll be blunt, the law. And
Hello.
I ended up in
Right.
A&E.
That.
Ended up in A&E, and the wonderful woman that ended up patching up, and I rolled my sleeve
Aw.
and said, "This scar right here on my arm there happened to
Aw.
be the woman I married."
Oh, that
Oh,
is
you
so
speak
sweet.
French?
Not a word. Luckily, she speaks English.
Oh,
Well, lucky you.
so sweet. Oh,
I
I'm
Lucky
Yes,
man
we-
I am.
I was so hoping he was just about to drop like a full. Oh, hello, mon ami.
Did I
Yeah,
say
good
it
one.
was.
Ruby's like, oh, I guess I might as well just drop my tragic, well, more or less backstory as well. Well, I'm originally from New York, and New York is quite the rough town. We being a family, never really had a lot, but what I did always have is my little sister. I've always
How is
had
she
her
doing?
back, and oh, she's ill, very much so.
I
It's
was,
just
I was like, we're going to say, she's 6 feet under.
no,
Oh no.
My little sister, she is,
She's with God
we-
now.
we've moved to Salem for a while, but then she's moved back to New York. She really wanted to be on Broadway, but sadly she fell ill, and apparently she's laying in the hospital. And I'm just all my savings that I have go to her and her medical bills, so I can make sure she's okay. Because after my parents tragically died a few years ago, she's alive. Thank God.
Again.
Nice. I love her very much, and I just every time I go to New York, and I do quite often, I will go visit her to make sure that she's okay.
I'm sure she would be very proud to have you as your sister.
She is. When she was younger, when someone would be saying anything mean about me, she would always get in a fight, and I would always have to get her out of it again.
Sounds like we'd get on fine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh wow, Ruby, you really have a thing for running into people that like to pick fights.
Yeah, that is true.
I'd ask for what you're all about, but I think we've heard quite a bit of it back in the car.
Yeah, a little too much.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Sure. Not Peter.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes.
Oh, it's alright.
Well,
Your wife.
It's all about trust, isn't it?
yes. I'm glad we all trust each other. Perhaps my friend here, Vadim, could tell his story. I know all about it, but perhaps you all should know as well.
Mr. Vadim.
Vadim?
Yes.
Tell them
You
your
tell
tragic
your story.
backstory.
We were just sharing our stories together to form
Well,
more
as-
trust.
As Takashi knows, I don't think I'm saying that right. Takashi, right?
Takeshi.
That's right. Yeah.
I was a former
Don't you
Russian
speak
nobility.
Japanese?
Oh, so we're traveling
Yes.
with royalty here.
With
Well,
royalty
my
indeed.
lord.
And during the Russian Revolution, my father was forced to fight in the Russian military down in Poland, and yes, and I had to flee the country. And then he
Oh.
looks
You don't
like a
have to
bit
tell
sad.
him.
Oh, I'm so sorry, darling.
okay.
I'm sure it must be hard leaving home.
It's alright,
Nice,
Vadim.
Ruby
At
Brennan.
least you have
asking all
their-
the hard questions.
Wait, what
Huh?
was your question?
I just said it must be hard leaving home.
Yes, it is.
At least you have a memento to remember them by, right?
And then he pulls out his pocket watch. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
that is a very.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dead rat. To try and lighten the mood.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Fucking god.
Exactly what I
Oh,
was thinking. I was
the
thinking
holy,
the exact same thing.
the trilogy of did something die on your head and the dead rat on your head.
I will say your hat is very fetching after watching it for a while now.
Yes, I must say I think it looks quite lovely.
Bet you pull all the raccoons with that one.
It looks good for something that looks
Mr.
like
Raymond.
roadkill.
Larissa, really?
And while all that's going on, the camera slowly dissolves.
Yeah, we
no,
should
no.
probably go downstairs. but,
Oswald runs
Slow
ahead
fade.
of the group as they're all talking and tries to catch the doctor by himself on the way downstairs or all the way downstairs.
Okay. Roll a spot hidden guess.
Yeah, alright.
He's hiding.
So, you can't find me.
Well, no, I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking of like.
Close your eyes and count to 10.
It's
Well,
the
no,
only
I
like
mean,
perception.
I'm just.
You must talk, my riddle 3.
Let the man talk.
Well, no, because I'm just thinking more of like it's a pretty big house and you don't
Fair.
really know the layout of it. and you're not sure if where
It's
he
a
might be at the moment.
medium-sized house to Oswald.
Okay, but to everyone else,
Yeah,
to
no,
normal
no,
people,
I'm just
it's a
being
large
a
house.
I'm being a fucker. I'm being a fucker.
But yeah, you do find him in the dining room,
Yes, doctor.
and he says, yes. I don't think I caught your name."
No, sir. Oswald Slow of the Crowley Institute. And he
Says
extends his hand.
Oswald Slow. "I am Dr. Percy Fawkes. Nice to meet you."
Indeed, sir. I am a very large fan of your work. I've been following
He
you
says,
for quite
"Oh,
some
well,
time.
thank you."
Of course. Now, I do understand my compatriot and your other guests are currently upstairs, probably exchanging stories and whatnot. Who knows? But I was curious if I could get a bit of a sneak peek at some of those artifacts we are going to look at later this evening from your discoveries down in Brazil.
And he kind of looks at you and gives a slight chuckle, "Haha, my good man. It wouldn't be fair to everyone else."
Come now, sir, people of our stature. We know better. I cannot do proper work under the prying eyes of others. I understand. I don't mean some deep research, just an idea of what I'm about to walk into.
Roll fast talk.
Ooh.
Yes, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all fuckers thought I didn't put that
Nice.
in. Everything to do with talking, baby.
Oswald Rap God.
And he says, well, maybe just a taste of what's to come. Sure.
Oh,
I don't see the
yes.
harm in it.
My good man. He
And-
claps him on the back.
And he says, Brazil was quite fascinating. I strongly suggest, should you ever find your way down there, to just look around, take in the culture. Maybe,
I have made a stop in Peru in my time. Me and my compatriot Raymond, we spent some time there, but we have never quite made it all the way, especially to Brazil. If I remember correctly, I read you made it all the way to Rio de Janeiro. Is that correct?
and he says, "Oh, sir, that was only the beginning of our trek.
The beginning?
We made it far past Rio de Janeiro."
Oh, enlighten me, sir, please.
And he says, "Well, first we traveled up from Rio de Janeiro. We decided to head north. Once we had made it firmly out of the city, we made it to a small area named Uberlandia.
Uberlandia.
From there, we took off slightly further north and also west to a region known as Rio Verde." And he says, if you've ever been to any jungles in your time, sir, this jungle was thicker than any one I'd ever been in my entire life.
Even that of the Amazon.
And he says, "My good man, we were right in the heart of the Amazon."
Dear God. Oswald.
It truly is. It truly is a mighty river, as they say. Fraught with dangers and mystery, and oh, you'd love it. And he kind of gives you the pat on the side of the shoulder.
Indeed, it does sound like quite the trip. I have I spent quite a number of my even early days around these sites. I've been in the game quite some time, you see. I may be a young man, but my experience goes deeper than my age.
And he says, "That I do believe. There is a reason I handpicked all of you. You're simply the best in your fields.
Yes, I
Your
the Crowley
organization,
Institute.
your organization and I, we have a working relationship."
Oh, is that the case? They
He says,
didn't-
"My, quite, yes."
They didn't inform us of any workings. Well, that is good to know that, indeed, more than just guests, we are colleagues then.
And he says, "Well, surely they keep some things close to the chest, I assume."
Well, I'd hope not all from the Star
And
international reporters, but you know, and Oswald kind of like he'd take a notebook that he was writing down notes from what the doctor was saying, and kind of like taking it and wringing it in his hands, not wringing it, but like gripping it a little bit tighter. His pen's got a little bit tighter on his grip as well.
Okay. And he
Yeah,
says,
following the doctor.
And he says, but yes, once we broke out from there, though, to Rio Verde, it was quite desolate out where we were. There weren't any towns to speak of. There were more villages. Most people, got around on dirt bikes and didn't really leave the vicinity too much. Going to a larger town was more of a special occasion.
The boonies, as it were.
Indeed. But these boonies are like nothing like what you've seen. Just deep, thick, dense jungle.
And
sometimes it seemed like it was nighttime with how dark the canopy was.
Sounds extraordinary. And what is it that you found in this darkened sky forest?
And he says, well, we found the remnants of an ancient civilization, far beyond the borders of where we thought early people had settled in Brazil. It was almost completely ruined due to the ravages of time. But it seemed like during its heyday, it was quite a large civic center. There were altars, there were religious sites, there was residential housing even.
Extraordinary.
But all of it was beneath the surface of the ground. So it had to have been eons old.
Indeed. And were you able to find anything of particular interest that you were able to return with?
And he says, oh my, yes. There were a few trinkets and baubles that we found, but we did find quite a number of things. And he kind of looks around to see if anyone's like in the room with the two of you, and pulls out from his coat pocket, and he says, a little taste, and pulls out a what looks like a tribal bone talisman. It seems like a section of ribcage from a smaller to medium animal with
Do I hear bones?
some kind of a strange looking skull, like placed like within the center of the rib cage, and it's hanging off of a brass like small chain.
Oswald will reach into his bag and place on his gloves, and then like, may I? And then like holds out his hands.
And he passes it over to you and says, yes, please.
Takes it into his hands.
Okay. Roll an occult check to look this over.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you being to Peru, you've seen quite a few different Mesoamerican sites. This talisman looks very similar to other ones that you have found. And they've been linked to not only like religious ceremonies, but also free will sacrifices by people.
Well, indeed, this does seem to be quite old, but nothing of particular standoffishness. We found several of these before, at least at some of our sites. If you've communicated with the Institute, I'm sure you've exchanged as well, but...
And he says yes, but the circumstances were quite different.
How so?
Well, when we found this, we had found some sort of a tomb, or mausoleum even. We had uncovered an area that seemed to be like a sacrificial ceremonial area, a large stepped pyramid with an altar on the very top of it. We found the very top of the pyramid when we first uncovered it. We dug down 200 feet to reveal the rest of it. And once we got to the bottom, we found a sealed door with arcane eons old ruins. Not even a written language that's been recorded.
So arcane, are you ensuing that it was magical, this door?
Yes, I feel like there was some sort of pagan magical, maybe protective spell over the door.
Dr.
It's still so
Fawkes,
early.
You're a man of science, and yet you speak of magic. Really?
And he says, I don't say that magic exists, simply that these specific people use these arcane symbols.
That is fair. All right. But
It is not a language that we've discovered ever anywhere. It is
something too
particular
old to know.
to these specific people in this specific area. It doesn't even come from Phoenician alphabet.
Are
It's symbols.
any of those symbols shown here? And he's like inspecting the bone talisman.
He says no, but, and he looks around and says, I really should wait for everybody else though.
Oh, just a peek, sir. Please, you can't bring me this far.
And
I'm dying to know.
he pulls out what looks like a large section of rolled up, almost like parchment paper or wax paper,
Oswald audibly gasps.
and says, don't worry, all will be revealed, and I will show you this. I'm fascinated by your interest in it. I hope at some point we could collaborate together.
Indeed, sir. It does seem you do know quite your stuff. I am particularly interested to know exactly how much you know of our institute. And he kind of like he takes that moment and kind of squints at him a little bit, and he's gonna try to read. Like if he says that, does Dr. Fawkes give off any tells? Like, does he know more than he's leading on?
Go ahead and roll a psychology for me.
Yes, I will roll a psychology and read his emotions, Mike. Thank you. I successfully rolled psychology. What, is he lying to me? Does he know more?
Damn, this robot's really good at analyzing people.
Analyzing.
Yeah, I mean, he does know like a lot more than what he's leading off, but it's not
Okay.
so much as like a shady thing. It's just more of like he likes you, but he's like organized this whole event for like everybody at the same time.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
talking about specifically in regards to the Crowley Institute and how much he knows about. Because what I was trying to do.
Oh,
was,
got
like,
it. Right.
And
Sorry.
how you know. How much you
yeah.
know about the Crowley, like trying to see if he responds, like, does he know that the Crowley Institute is what it really is type thing? That's what I'm trying to gauge.
Right.
And
Okay.
his reaction to
So-
me bringing that up.
His reactions seem like solid. He doesn't seem like he's holding anything back about that.
Okay, so he is
or
still...
he doesn't seem nervous. And he tells you, like once you kind of ask that, like, well, between me and the Crowley Institute, we have a very good working relationship. I know that they're one of the best institutions that there is. So if I find something that they
Absolutely,
deem unnecessarily dangerous, I usually end up handing it off to them and letting
course.
them take care of it.
Yes, okay, no, I just wanted to make sure that, yes, all our ducks in a row, so to speak, yes, sir. But I do, and he hands back the bone talisman. Thank you so much for allowing me even this sneak peek. I'm sure the others will be joining us soon, and I do not want to hold up dinner. I have heard tell of you used to throw quite the party, so I am excited for this evening.
And he says, yes, the good old days. Lately, I've just been so consumed with my work. I just haven't had time to, nor the interest. All my attention has been directly at my findings and research.
From one scientist to another, give yourself a break. Have a drink. Enjoy some time with friends.
And he says, "Oh, I intend to now, sir. I've completed my research. I feel like."
Indeed. Now, I am going to get myself a drink.
And he says, "Oh, yes, of course," and kind of motions over to a rolling liquor cart. And there's different bottles of like brandy, there's vodka, there's rum, there's scotch, there's whiskey, anything
Whatever
you could
the
possibly
most
imagine.
expensive thing on that cart, and he pulls himself a giant glass of it.
Okay, and yes, these are all high-end liquors. There's no like rock gut here. Like
Hell
these
yeah.
are all very fine liquors. So pretty much anything you choose, like it's gonna be an experience,
yeah,
not a drink.
Oswald's keen eye especially for alcohol. He like scans over, finds the one.
You even
and
spy
finds the one that's the.
You even spy a bottle of Johnny Walker Gold label.
And this here, and he reaches down. Now, Johnny Walker. Right then, pours himself a glass of that.
Okay. And it is very, very strong and very smooth. It's probably one of the smoother liquors that you've ever had. Tasting it, you taste the familiar taste of a Scotch whiskey, very finely aged for probably many years in an oak barrel, and it is very smooth. It is like roasty tasting from the wood. It is delicious.
He like takes it and just closes his eyes. He just stands there from him, just deep breath in through his nose, and lets his tongue just sit in it. And then
And Dr. Fawkes
Fucking-
sees you like with what you chose and says, "Ah, Johnny Walker, it's a very good choice, sir."
he just kind of takes a moment for a second. His shoulders kind of relax, and he cocks his head to the side and he goes, "Fucking hell!" And like shakes his head, straightens himself out, and he goes, "It seems perhaps Americans can do some things right."
Yes, and this is an American distilled Scotch whiskey,
Absolutely.
but it does not detract from the quality of it.
I love Johnny Walker. God damn it, Mike. Now I want to drink Johnny Walker. Fuck. I have to work tomorrow. So he takes that
That's a good
moment
one.
and then takes another long sip and just very much enjoys his drink as I assume the others finish trading tales. Come on down to the table.
And Ruby probably like sees him enjoying himself
Yeah,
drinking, like
camera.
would playfully walk past him and grab the if he likes like playfully grab the glass and take a sip.
Oh, he does. He lets you grab it. He's like standing. You all come down. He's like standing by the fire. He's prepared. He's like standing
and-
by the fire, jacket open.
And
sipping
like
his drink.
after Ruby takes a sip, there's like a very visible red like lipstick outline on the glass from where she drank at.
Ruby, don't drink on the job. We're working.
This is just one sip.
Oswald reaches over and like 2 fingers grabs the glass out of her hand.
And
is-
Dr. Fawkes looks at the rest of you and says, "Please help yourselves if you would like a drink. I have
I'll be fine.
a wide variety of liquors available."
Does
Do
he
you
have
have water?
Guinness?
I'll be
I don't
fine.
drink on the job. I'm sorry.
It's yeah.
And you see on the tables like, okay, and you see like on the tables in front of like where your plates are set, there is a almost like a large wine glass filled with waters.
Okay.
Is there a Guinness?
And he says, "Ah, beer, man." And
Do you know it?
he walks over to a cupboard, and you see him like pull out a small key and put it into the keyhole and turn it, and you see that the top part pulls apart and opens up to different beer taps. And he says, "I always have everything on hand just in case."
Oswald
And,
is like mid sip, and then like the liquor starts to trail down the side of his cheek because he's just staring while still sipping. And he's forgetting to
Or
drink.
like face side by side, complete stock still frozen.
And
Like in awe.
And Dr. Fawkes pulls out a very nice pint glass and says, "Now let's see if I can still do this. It's been a while since I've poured from a drought." And puts it up, tilted about 45-degree angle, and pulls down the tap.
God
And you
damn it,
just
Mike.
see like the dark liquid just come out of the tap, and the tan foam kind of rising up as he fills up the glass and tops it off, and it's like a perfect pour. It's like all
That
beer, and
son
then
of a
like
bitch.
No
and
head.
then, like the
No head king. No head king.
no, there because Guinness is a very heady beer.
No, that's
so
true. There should be just a smidge.
it's like
There
all
should be a
beer,
smidge.
and then probably like the top like quarter inch of the glass is just like a nice foamy head. Literally like
Guinness,
the
just a
perfect
little head.
pour.
Smooth.
Just a little head.
Y'all alcoholics. I swear to God.
Beer is great.
Don't you judge me. There's one thing that I know, and it's beer.
Let us be happy.
Raymond's like salivating.
Dr. Fawkes looks at all of you and says, "So, drink, anyone? There's waters for anyone interested. There's ale. There's liquor. Anything you can imagine."
Just like,
This
just a sip.
is a host.
Ruby's just really like, wow,
Um,
because she's like so stunned at how
yeah.
expensive that is.
Dr. Fawkes rings like a small bell, and you see a man come out from like double push like kitchen doors, like the saloon doors in kitchen.
Is it that fucker? Is it that
no,
asshole?
no, no.
Thank God.
No,
Thank God. I
no,
would killed him.
that's,
I would fucking killed him, Mike.
This is just somebody in a chef's coat. It looks like maybe a private cook or something similar.
Thought someone
he
was
said-
about to get hot fuzzed.
And he says, "For anyone interested, Gerald here makes a fantastic hot cocoa." And you see him
Oh, that
like,
would be
and you see him like holding like a large coffee mug that has almost like it almost looks like sticks of chocolate like sticking out of the top of it.
Oh my
That
God.
have been like
I'm grabbing that
melted.
right out of his hands.
Oh
yes,
my
me
God.
like Ruby and Lars are probably grab for it at the same time. Just like
Okay. So yeah, he comes back out and he has like a tray of like 6 cups of hot chocolate and sets it on like a small end table and says, "For anybody interested."
Oswald will grab one, take a
Yeah.
sip out of it, and then pour the rest of the Johnny Walker into the cocoa.
Okay.
Ruby just drinks it without the alcohol. And she's
And,
just like, it's
and-
not expensive.
And Dr. Fawkes sees you do that and says, "I would recommend a clear liquor for chocolate, but if that's what you like, that's what you like."
I'd rather taste it.
By the way,
I would.
Vadim asks for White Russian.
And
Aren't all Russians white?
racist.
Wow.
I mean, most Russians.
Wow.
Most Russians and all of them.
Like that is on the internet forever.
Most Russians, I'm sorry, I'm tired.
But yeah, so the same man in the cook uniform comes out, and Dr. Fawkes says, "A White Russian, Gerald, please." And you see him like go back behind where the bar is, and pull out like the shaker, like the shaker glass, put it in like the vodka, the creamer, the Kahlua, some ice, and just
My man. You're goddamn right it's Kahlua.
and shakes it, and then pours it into a like a Scotch glass and hands it over to you, and says, "1 White Russian, sir."
Nice. Thank you.
Okay, you know what? Maybe
Nice.
this is probably the fanciest we've ever been treated on a job, and this will be the first and only time, so might as well drink something. I won't,
Oh,
but if you want to.
fine.
However, if
I'll be
if
fine.
your hands get shaky and you won't be able to take pictures, you won't hear the end of it.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm not gonna drink anything because I won't
Oswald
hear the
is
end of it.
already like walking over with a glass of white wine and his cocoa in his hand. Look, like just kind of approaching, but doesn't walk all the way up, and like standing a good bit away, and just kind of like looks at Ruby and like gives her the eyes and like gestures with his head.
And looking
Oh,
around
okay,
the
fine.
room, you see that next to where the drink cart is, there is like a smaller wooden table, and there are like wine glasses that have cooked shrimp hanging off the side of them with
Oh,
like a cocktail
Jesus.
sauce on the inside.
Wow.
There are like oysters on the half shell that have been steamed with like lemon and butter and like chopped
Whoa.
onion. There are like the small like Vienna sausages, like the small, like pinky size like smoked like little smokies.
Oh.
There
Picture
are
blanket.
crackers with like a basil
Coffee.
sauce on top. Yeah, crackers and coffee for our friend. But yeah, there are like small like crackers of different like shapes and
Wait,
different
animal
ingredients
crackers?
that have like well no, there's like square ones or circle ones.
Okay.
There's
Oh,
like
different
rectangular
shapes.
ones. And some have like a basil chutney on top. Others have like almost like a sour cream with like a salsa maybe. There's different like small like finger food hors d'oeuvres on this table.
Oswald will like go walk over to the cart and like eyes Ruby a little bit, and then like grabs the sausage and pops it in his mouth, but then it's like a little too hot. He's like, "Ah."
Yes, it
He's
is
like
piping hot,
drooling.
as they say.
I'll go over to the car and just grab a bunch of crackers and just stuff into my mouth. Not all of them. However, I will just take basically the entire thing and walk over, so it's all for me.
And Ruby goes over to Oswald with his
Larissa
wine
be like-
glass.
Yes.
Crunch.
Ruby walks over to Oswald and she takes the wine glasses. If I may.
You know, it actually is considered rude in England if you don't drink at an event.
Oh well, I didn't know that.
Yes, let's not be rude, shall we? And he holds up his drink.
You can
Yes,
you can
it's
just
done.
hear in the background Raymond kind of like laughing at himself. But
She
Did Oswald say it so
thinks it's-
Larissa over here said, or was it just like between the two of them?
He's talking. Like if you're trying to listen in, you can roll a listen. I guess.
No, I'm not listening. I'm just
It's not like he's not shout flirting. It's not like he's at a frat club.
Oh no, it's not like
I saw you in econ.
no, I thought it was like passive aggressive towards Larissa.
Also of note too is that all of the plates on the table look like very, very fine china, like very like fine crystal china, and the silverware looks to be real silver.
So no one here want to come out as a werewolf?
The demon like
Oswald
dribbles
jumps
away,
away
and
from
starts,
the
like,
table
roaring
and
and
hisses.
screaming.
I'm not a werewolf, but I am a zombie.
There's a zombie coming.
Yeah,
So anyone going to steal that cutlery or just me?
it's only silver. Why would Oswald need to steal it? But also he goes like looks over at the table, staying next to Ruby, and is like, "No, it seems Dr. Fawkes does not hold back, does he?" And he's like, reaching down and grabbing it and removing one from a station. He doesn't even know if he's gonna sit there, just inspecting it,
Yeah.
like very haphazardly. You would never handle silver like this. He does.
And it is mirror polished. Like it is clean. There are no like water marks on it. Like there's nothing. It is like hand polished and pristine
A
looking.
man
Oh,
of taste.
I've never been at an event this expensive before. I wish I had that amount of money.
It's
Like even
oh,
on the plates, there are no scratch marks from like forks and knives. Like everything is very pristine and nice looking.
I stuff another crack into my mouth. It's like, yeah, man, I've never really felt this poor before.
Bro, this shit's crazy. Just shoveling crackers.
I mean, I'm not rich, but
Oh, certainly not.
yeah, I will never be able to afford this.
You not experiencing this on a daily basis seems a high crime to me.
Oh well, with that amount of money, I would probably pay medical bills for my sister. Well, we probably didn't hear it because you just left us while we were having a very nice story time. But I have a little sister, and she's fallen ill in recent years.
Oh,
And
I'm terribly sorry for that.
it's
Is she far from here?
She's in New York.
New York?
So
That's the other
she's-
side of the bloody country.
Is it though?
Not really.
Oh no, that's right. No, this isn't California. It's Boston, right? Or Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking LA Noir. You got me on the trumpet with the mute man, okay? This is
Which
LA
one?
Noir. Like I played too much of that game. All right. Anyway. It's like, well, I'm terribly sorry for that. Not to pry, but how much do you need?
Oh, shit! Now I have to make up this sum of money. Oh, it's just like,
$100 billion.
I don't mean to brag, but I actually am lavishly wealthy. And he chuckles to himself. I'm not sure if it's quite that obvious, and he like takes a step back and gestures to everything about him.
it is quite obvious. Oh,
Well, thank you. I tried to make it known.
well, this year it's well, it's been piling up since I think about 2 years ago since she's been admitted to the hospital, and ever since then it's been I think about 2,000 each year.
2,000 a year, Lord. And you managed to make that.
Well, I'm a little bit behind regarding those payments.
That's fair. It's happens to the best. American healthcare isn't the best, right? And he looks at the camera.
Raymond leans in from off shot, also staring at the camera.
The camera is
Looks
from the
back-
job. Thank you very much.
Looks back to Ruby. But I do apologize. It's quite hard having someone just kind of stuck, waiting, unable.
Yes. It's just it seems not to be getting better. I worry a lot. I try not to, but she's a strong girl. I do believe that she'll make it eventually.
I'm sure she will. And he smiles.
Mhm.
And there's definitely like this, even with his very strong facade right there, you'd probably be able to pick up on something from something in his eye or his voice.
I'm
kinda
not trying to
shaking.
be stealthy about this.
No, he's not. Well, it's obvious enough for him because he loses it in front of Ruby.
Yeah.
But there's a little twilt in his voice, a little sad there. Yes, I'm sure she will. But I am sorry for that. But at least tonight we can
Yes.
forget about what's going on out there. But I did sneak away for quite a reason, and I do have a bit of a scoop for you.
What'd you tell?
Yes, I've got his pathing that he went
Oh.
through Brazil. Doctor and I got a bit cozy, had a bit of conversation. He showed me a couple things that you will be seeing later. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but
Aw.
it does seem something is quite interesting. We are going to see quite the show.
I cannot wait.
Indeed.
Well, I am
Yeah.
glad to be. Yes, you go first.
So go ahead, off. You.
Okay. He says, well, I'm glad to be with you, and as Shakespeare would write it, I would not wish any companion in the world but you.
Ah, well then. Hopefully I can continue to offer my companionship. And he raises his glass.
Well, she raises hers as well.
Clink them together, gives you a wink again.
Fade to black.
There are other people in the room.
No, there aren't.
Who turned
Not
out
those.
lights?
Just us. It's
End of
just us.
campaign.
and those two lived happily ever after, and that's it.
Now everyone else.
And Marissa still lives in the fucking apartment, and Raymond, who knows what the fuck he's doing.
Raymond is useless now.
Raymond cuts off his other hand.
And Dr. Fawkes sits at the head of the table, and as he does, he rings the bell again, and you see Gerald, the same cook, come out wheeling in a single stainless steel cart, and there is a large cooked roast on it, like a beef roast on it, on like a cutting board, and it's been like sliced, halfway sliced into pieces, and there's like the knife and like the meat fork stuck in it.
A roast beast.
And like on the same cart, there's like a large bowl of like mashed potatoes and like different vegetables, green beans, corn, all kinds of different stuff. And he goes back into the kitchen and comes back out a few minutes later with another cart. There is another cutting board, wooden cutting board with ribeye steaks on it, enough for like each one of you, and also an appropriate number of lobster as well.
Oh yes.
Sorry to interrupt,
Everyone's
I have an
stomachs
important
rumble.
question. This Gerald guy, does he have white hair and yellow eyes?
It looks like the exact
No.
same thing.
Scar across the left eye. Is he
Perhaps.
wearing leather? Is he
Is
wearing
his-
leather, Mike?
Is his girlfriend
He is,
called Jennifer?
he is probably about 25-year-old male,
Oh, is he? young?
like a short, like cropped haircut with dark hair. He has like hazel eyes, and he's very clean shaven, and he has a white chef's coat on.
Dr.
And two
Fawkes.
swords.
And
He has two
Two
chef's
steak
knives.
knives. One for
underneath.
the meat, and one for the people.
But Dr. Fox, you have an executive chef so young.
And he says, "Oh yes, Gerald here is quite the superstar. He spends most of the time here at the manor. I've paid enough to have him be my private chef.
Oh, gee.
I give him full reign of the kitchen and all of the wait staff."
Oh, it can be quite the fee, but Lord, is it worth it?
Oh, well. I wish I had that kind of luxury.
And he says, "Well,
Someone cooking for me.
the
every
money
day.
is no
I
issue
don't.
to me."
Indeed.
And Gerald like wheels out a few more different carts to have large pots of like soups on it. One looks like a clam chowder, one looks almost like a beef stew or like a minestrone type soup. And the last one has a very large bowl with like a Caesar salad tossed in it, and a cutting board with like freshly grilled chicken breasts.
Sorry, during all this time, is he like silent the whole time? Or is he interacting with us?
No, I mean he's like interacting with you guys. He
Okay.
like comes out with one cart and
He's
says,
he's
"Dinner is served."
And
And-
this
so
is
he always comes out and is like, hmm. That's what you get for. That's what you get for making a character with the Witcher's name.
Yeah, you better think of your names, man.
Hey, it's Geralt with a D, not a T.
Yeah, it's Gerald.
Gerald. It's
Gerald,
so he's
Geralt,
not going.
Michael with a, it's
He's
Michael with a
going,
B.
Michael.
it is our diet.
Gerald.
Geralt diet.
Like, you're old. You're gonna die soon.
Michael with a B. And
Right,
he's
I
been afraid
turned
of
to G rolled.
G-Man, G-Money.
Anyway,
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Raymond is
And,
salivating.
He gives like a bow and says "Bon appetit," and kind
Thank
of like
you,
backs
sir.
out of the room, like back through the saloon doors into the kitchen.
Merci beaucoup.
Walks backwards.
And Dr.
Oh,
Fawkes looks around at all of you and says, "Well, dig in, but be sure to make room." Gerald makes a divine chocolate lava cake.
Raymond is not making room.
This has been the first proper meal we've had in quite a few
That's
days.
true. That's true.
You won't even know if you have to play it. It's gonna be that clean.
Besides like
Arista's basically inhaling the food.
besides like gas station snacks, like the little bags of peanuts and maybe like a chocolate bar or something.
This biscuit down back at car seats.
I mean the crackers.
And yeah, all of you dig in. It is
Yes.
it is quite the spread. It is a very filling meal. Whatever you're in the mood for, it's there.
Ryan is in the mood for literally all food, and will
want
happily
some human
devour it.
meat.
Alexa.
Oswald makes exact portions of like a little bit of everything, but never goes more than the plate, and then eats very methodically.
Nice.
Like, you know those deforestation charity videos where you'll see like machines cutting down thousands of trees at once? It's that, but the trees are food and Raymond is deforesting them.
Nice.
How's I wonder how Vadim is holding up with the knives and all.
Yeah, Vadim, you are like shaking. Just
I
looking
think
at
he's
your
not
knife.
here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
Corn?
So you have to
No, it's not you.
be-
But yeah,
we will
Va-
re-wonder this in a moment.
But
Oh,
yeah,
never mind.
Vadim is like sitting at his plate and just shaking, looking at the knife and the fork, and he picks up a spoon, and, like holds it close to him.
Carney muted.
Well, there's stew.
Are you aware?
Yes, I'm aware.
Are you okay?
No.
Hello,
Did you know that you are literally pissing yourself right now because of the fork and knife in front of you?
No, I did not. I was gone.
So yeah, Vadim wets himself.
Nice.
Cool.
He goes. That sounded way weirder than I intended to. Okay, so I guess Vadim goes to clean himself up.
And Dr. Fawkes says, "Is your friend gonna be okay?"
Yeah, sorry. He has a very huge phobia of pointy
Sharp.
objects.
Yes, of sharp things.
And he says, "Oh, well, that's got to be rough. I couldn't imagine something like that."
Yes, it is
Neither could
rather
we like him.
unfortunate, and he's like stifling a laugh, but he's not doing it very well.
And you see him like kind of stab a knife into one of the lobster tails and like cut it open down the middle.
You can just hear audibly down the hall Vadim shiver.
Just
You know
like
that made a
as
voice.
Vadim hears like the knife going, you can hear him faintly.
Peter will excuse himself. Sorry, I will just check up on my friend. See if he
You're
needs
looking at
anything.
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you need something, we're here for you.
And yeah, Peter will go up to Vadim and ask him, "Are you alright? Do you need anything?"
I need a change of clothes.
Yeah, I can do that for you. I'll go grab you a fresh, clean pair of pants and a nice new shirt.
No,
and he
no,
goes
it's
up to the-
fine. I can get my own stuff.
Are you sure? Can you walk up the stairs properly?
I mean,
Stands, and
yes.
it's just wet spot front, wet spot back.
He's like clenching the old cheeks going up the stairs.
Do you need assistance? I could lend you a shoulder if you'd like.
No, it's fine. My legs still work.
All right then. I will head back.
Stay away from my wife, Peter.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Cutting
Sorry.
deep there.
Aw.
I didn't mean to break the moment there. Sorry.
Is there anything I can do for you? Well, there's one thing, Peter.
Keep your dick in your pants, motherfucker.
Just say hi to your
Really
wife.
gotta
for me.
rub. Hi, your wives and daughters, ladies and gentlemen.
So like,
Peter's in town.
Papa Peter's coming home.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Anyways,
Yeah. So yeah, all of you finish this meal, and there's plenty of leftovers, so there's enough for you to go back 2 or 3 different times if you like.
And I do like.
Oswald
And,
eats one plate and saves room for dessert.
Raymond
Yeah, Ruby
clears
also like
shot.
maybe eats maybe 2 plates and to save or dessert.
And around that time, Gerald comes out with, he's holding 2 different trays on both of his hands, and you see him like kind of turn backwards and like kick the saloon doors open and like walk through like very smoothly, and then like turns around with like the plates on it or the platters, and you see that there's just like a single piece of chocolate cake with like a molten center coming out, and this is the fabled chocolate lava cake.
Oh,
Chocolate lava cake.
wow,
Wonderful.
that looks delicious.
And it
Raymond's
is
like picking up his knife and cutting into it like as he's putting it down on the table.
and it is like hot and like still steaming. So it is like quite
Wow, Mike, you're making me really hungry right now. And fuck you for that.
Hungry and thirsty.
fresh. Well, it is a dinner after all.
I
Mm.
wish to eat right now.
As he like comes to put it down, it's greatest compliments to the chef. That was delicious.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
Gerald,
Like I am the chef.
and Gerald is still standing there and says, "Oh, thank you. I
I am saying it to
appreciate
him.
Oh, okay, got it." But yeah, he did wheel it out, and he like kind of stood there a little bit, waiting, for you guys to take the first bite, and then like walks out of the room.
Oswald fucking devours that shit.
Mm.
Everything else, the meal was very methodical. The dessert, he's like, but not a mark on him or his suit.
The same cannot be said for him.
That's why we got it waterproof.
I like drip a bit of chocolate sauce on his shirt and then like wipe it off with his finger and like lick it off.
Raymond,
And,
table manners.
It was so good, though.
I'm aware. It's like wiping off the bit that got on his cheek. One
Dr.
speck.
Fawkes, that was quite a wonderful meal.
Yes, that was very delicious.
And he says, "Thank you. I spared no expense."
Well, yes, clearly. It's
You-
wonderful.
You spoil your guests too much.
Yes, you
Thank-
do indeed. I could get used to something like this if I had the money.
And he
Quite
says,
the host
"Well,
indeed."
what are guests if not meant to be spoiled?"
I don't say this lightly, but I reckon I could die happy now.
Don't jinx it.
No, he says that after every meal at mine as well. He just
I do.
loves food.
And
I
Dr.
do
Fox
just.
looks at you and says, "Yes, we'll see about that. Won't? No, I'm just kidding."
Psychology. I grab my gun.
And miss every shot.
Hey, I'm above 50 now, motherfucker. You better watch out.
Presses a small red button on the underside of the desk and you plummet into a pit of piranhas.
Wonder what
So,
I-
super villain.
that was actually close to a success.
Mm.
What was that for? Oh,
Psychoanalysis.
psychoanalysis.
It's just him rolling for nothing like Corin always does.
But yeah, no.
Oh, wow,
he's-
thanks. I mean, it's true, but thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Speaking of spoiling your guests, will you kindly spoil us with the rest of what you've planned for tonight?
Yes. I've already heard there's quite
Not
some.
Peter.
surprise
There's no
wedding.
need to be so hasty.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no.
He
I would
he
love
smirks
to.
and looks over at Ruby.
Well, I would also love to see what you have to show. I looked over to Oswald. They have quite some surprises for us.
And he says, "Yes, of course." And stands up from the table and says, "Please follow me."
Oh, okay.
All right.
Like gets up super slow. It's like rubbing his belly. Oh, so much food, and he ate like a quarter of what everyone else ate.
Oh no.
Oh, that's
Dynamic
heavy.
gliding. Oh,
It's
I
just
see
a,
nothing.
it's just a map, you
You
guys.
said that last
yeah, it's
time.
not a
Just
battle
a
map.
map. Yeah, you say that every
And
time.
it
It's
was,
not a battle map.
and it was just a map
Yeah.
last time.
Yet.
It's always been just a
Is
map
this a
until we end up
fireplace?
punching something.
Always has been. Yeah.
The offer
And,
stands.
and Dr. Fox says, "Follow me," and begins like leading you like out of the dining room.
I do a
Yes,
sick. I do a sick roll over the table.
Yeah, right. You do that. But Ruby's already out of the room. She doesn't see it.
Fuck.
Ooh.
Barista's
I
the only
don't
one that
I'm
sees
Can I
making
maybe,
it
like-
hard mark or my guard.
Alright,
Oh,
Over here, guys. Sorry.
oh, where do you go?
This way.
I'm, I'm making things
Where you
hard
go?
for you, aren't
Should
I?
we wait for Vadim?
Vadim,
Vadim.
come
Oh,
already
okay. He's
down.
going this way.
This way.
The
This
Dean
way.
coming.
Yes.
I can't.
Hello.
I can't. I'm using the arrow keys.
I'm
I
in.
can't fit. I'll just drag.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Damn it.
I'm in.
And he takes
Oh,
you
that's weird.
to a door down a hallway
Holy shit.
and
This looks like a
opens
bathroom.
it. No, it is a hallway with a door, almost like a trap door at the end of it, like a cellar door built into the
see.
ground.
Nice.
Hey, could you use the arrow keys?
Wait, no, this is a kitchen, not a bathroom.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna go find
Famous
Vadim,
words
guys.
said
I'll be back.
before disaster.
Right.
I'll go find
Where's-
Vadim.
I'm
Okay,
right
you go
here.
find Vadim, I'm coming back.
And he
There's
back
Vadim. All right, come on, Vadim.
unlocks the door with a key and opens it up and walks down like the stairs
Where does
Through
he
the
put
door?
the key? Where does he put the key?
back
Oh.
into his coat pocket in the
His
front.
coat pocket. 10-4.
Why am I in the front?
Because, you know.
I
you're
wasn't
big and
over there
strong and
before.
brave.
What? Why was I over there? That's weird.
And
Next to Ruby.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank
and
you.
There you
Dr.
I'm
Fox, as you go down into this basement area, Dr. Fox flips on a light switch and walks down the stairs, and you see that the room below is illuminated as you walk down the stairs, and it is a very clean and sterile looking room. The floor is made from what looks like a stainless steel. And in the center of the room, there is a large pod,
Oh.
stairs leading up to it, and there is a receptacle sort of
Okay.
power source built into the side of it.
I'd like to.
Vadim is
Shoot.
actually going up to it, by the way.
What
Can I
is?
shoot?
Take a photo.
And,
Oh yes, I make
Doc-
a photo.
and Dr. Fox walks over to one of the tables in the corner of the room and says, as I promised your friend earlier, I do have some things to show you. And he pulls out a rolled up white piece of parchment paper and
Oh, he does.
unrolls it, unrolls it onto the table.
That's not
I'll
like
take a picture of the
approaching
machine,
slowly.
by the way. So I'm just gonna roll photography for that.
Okay.
Wow. I'll take another picture. Come on. There you go.
Going through all your film. Jesus.
And
Christ. It's not a
And,
good thing for Ruby.
And as he unrolls it, it looks like basically this was a piece of paper that was put up to a rock, and then a pencil was used to go over the engravings
an
and the
etching.
general shape.
An
Yeah, like
etching.
an etching.
Oh yeah.
So you see the shape of the rock drawn into it, and then you see the runes going across it. And he says, surely you understand that we couldn't take the actual source itself, the stone.
Yeah.
But we did manage to
Of
get
course.
an engraving of it.
Makes sense.
Do I recognize any of the symbols?
I would say no, you don't.
From my time reading the Necronomicon Ex Mortis in my search to try to find a spell to heal Raymond. Do any of the symbols look like any of the symbols from within that book?
No, I would say this looks like a language all its own.
It looks like a different language. Awesome. Does it?
It's similar in the sense that there's more. It's more hieroglyphic than like words,
Can I?
but that's really the only similarity.
Can I try to figure out, or at least get a general idea of what it's trying to say?
Sure. Let me see. Roll a.
Occult.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an occult.
Yes. Yeah, baby.
Nice.
A lot of close rolls tonight.
Okay. So even with that, this is very hard to make out. There's symbols that maybe look similar to other languages that you've seen, but nothing is really striking out as, oh, this section here belongs to like this specific language, or
It's
this
like a
over here is
cacophony
like
of random
a certain
things.
yeah. It's very hard to make out, and even though there are some things that look similar, it's not cohesive in any sense.
This is peculiar, Doctor.
I asked him. I asked the doctor. So, what is this machine for?
Yeah, what is all of this about? I have kind of a bad feeling.
And he says, "Oh, this," and gets up from the chair and walks over to it and says, "This is a new invention of mine." And he says, "Simple, from my own perspective, from an engineer's perspective." And he walks up and he pulls out something from out of his like inner coat, and it is a probably roughly like soda-sized idol made entirely of gold. And he says, "This is the key," and puts it into the receptacle and turns the machine on.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
And what does
Yeah.
this do, Doctor?
What
and
are you doing, sir?
And he says, "Follow me, and I'll show you."
What's this
And
big red
walks-
button do?
And walks to the steps of the machine and goes
I-
into it.
I doesn't know. Okay.
Can I step into it
Ah.
as well?
If you want, yeah.
I guess I'll.
Oh,
Do you guys
I
want
have
me to
bad
try
feeling about
stepping
this.
into this thing?
Does Vadim want to step into the glowing green?
Yes, but I don't
Because-
know what my party thinks.
You're
Oh,
doing
maybe
your
you
thing,
should-
man.
you should-
There's no party here.
What happens when he steps into it? Is he just standing there, or does he disappear?
No, he is standing there, and there is a constant, like, green pulsating light coming from inside.
Does it
and
look
he's-
like he can still see us?
Yeah, he can see all of you, and he's just standing there waiting for the rest of you to
What?
join him.
I want to know what it does before I get in the creepy machine.
Yes, Doctor.
What
No.
does this do exactly, sir?
Not to be apprehensive. What the fuck?
No,
you-
actually, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing here.
We're like stand at least at the stairs.
No,
So-
And-
Oswald is bottom of the stairs, hands on his hips, looking up.
So is Larissa.
Yeah,
And,
I'm just like,
And he looks at all of you and says, "My good people, it's the key to a different future, to a different world. What I found in the jungles was simply amazing."
Oh, I know what this is.
Wait. Aren't we getting a little too ahead of ourselves? Perhaps you should explain a little more.
Yes, that would be very nice.
It's not for nothing, but I'm not gonna stand in there.
Neither am I.
Vadim
Me
actually
neither.
steps out a little bit, but like halfway in, halfway out.
And he says, this idol is almost like an anchor point. Halfway between this world and halfway between the unseen one.
That is still not very
And he
specific.
says,
I'm still
and he
not sure what
says-
to make of that.
Oswald takes like a step back when he says that.
Unseen.
and he says, when I created this device, it was to channel the natural properties of this idol into unfiltered energy. The power of this allows me to travel between different worlds and dimensions.
So you're drawing power from this alternate place.
And he says, yes, strictly as a beginning, but there's so much more to it.
As a doctor yourself, as a scientist, shouldn't there be some safer procedures to conduct this?
Yes, I feel like that is very unsafe and unstable.
And he says, no, I would never trust this with anyone else besides my own hands. And he says, I've used this machine handfuls of times and everything has been fine.
Ah, yes, handfuls.
But what does it like do?
What? Yeah, what's it? What is this?
What exactly? Yeah, what is it? I still don't really get it.
And he says, I thought all of you were people of science, that you
Well,
could
I'm a
comprehend-
journalist, not a
compre-
scientist.
comprehend things of this nature. And he
Well,
says
me and my
here,
colleagues are journalists, not scientists, sir.
and he
Well, I did
says,
become a journalist by looking out for my own safety, and I just walk up and go and stand next to him into the glowing thing.
Where's that?
Vadim steps
And-
into the glowing thing, but announces that he says, scientists always ask, could they, not should they. Wait, did I just quote a movie?
yeah, Jurassic Park. And, And he says, yes, but if every person had that mentality, then nothing would ever be discovered. And he
Yes.
looks at the rest of you and says, here, allow me to simplify it. And like points to the machine and says, this is point A. This machine takes you to point and points like off, like into a general direction and says, point whatever you wish it to.
Oh, alright.
What? So anywhere?
And he says, yes.
Take us to Vegas.
And she says, a point of time, not a point on a map. You're thinking too narrowly.
Sir, are you talking about
Time travel.
traveling through time?
He
Or
says-
traveling through worlds?
He says, time, a different world, a different dimension. All of these things are trivial. Time is merely a human construct.
And
Prove it.
These unknown worlds and times, what have you seen?
And he says, well, I've seen areas of lush vegetation untouched by man.
Oh,
I've seen Arctic barren wastelands. I've seen the world covered in oceans.
But have you seen?
that sounds not very
But
pleasant.
how'd you get back if there was no land for you to be on? Wouldn't you just drown?
The machine is a constant in this point.
Oh, so like this building?
No, the machine, the pod.
Well, wouldn't
And
the
you,
pod
like-
just like sink?
No, it would not.
It can float? That's impressive.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't
Sell it.
float. It's anchored to a specific point in time.
Well, how do you get back?
You go back into the. and go back into the pod and leave.
But but you said it was all ocean.
If it's all ocean, don't leave the
Oswald
pod.
has his note out and he is writing down and he's sketching and you see him like he's actually thinking through this. Is like even to Oliver, this is fucking funny what he's asking, but he's genuinely this is what he's thinking and he's genuinely curious. He's inquisitive.
And he says, the pod is anchored to this point in time from where we leave. So that means that no matter what happens with us, the pod is a constant. We can get back to the pod at any point.
Yeah, but when we go through, we're not here, and it's locked here. That's what you said, right? It's locked here in this instant, in this exact point in time.
Maybe
so when we
it
go
would
through,
be
we're no
better
longer
if you
in this
just-
point in time.
Maybe it's.
I'm not gonna stand in this man's theory machine that can travel through time to different dimensions. No, if you guys want to go through and get ripped apart in the spaces between worlds, fine. But I am staying right here. Raymond, of course, you can make any decision, but I would suggest you do not step in either.
Yes, with all due respect, Dr. Fawkes, this seems a little crazy.
Even theoretically, the amount of precision to not be vaporized. This is absurd. On paper, this is impossible, and you're saying you've done it a handful of times.
And he looks at all of you and looks at Vadim and Larissa and says, do you trust these two?
I do actually, but I'm too curious for my own good sometimes.
No, I
Larissa-
mean,
No, I
no.
believe-
He asks Oswald, Vadim,
Larissa,
and
no,
Peter.
he's asking us if we trust you, not if you trust us, you see.
Then why
Now,
look
me,
at one-
me personally, no, I don't trust either of them at all. That one's a
Oh
zombie.
yeah, I
don't
trust
like him at all.
Larissa. She's my friend.
Yes,
Alright,
I trust them.
All
I do
right,
trust him.
all right, they trust him, so that's fine. I trust by proxy then, or something.
And he looks at the two of you and says, well then, are you ready?
No.
Be
Sure.
careful.
Green button or red button?
Neither. He closes the pod door and you see that there is a button pad inside of it that he begins like typing into. And then he pushes a large green button on that pad. From the outside, you see that it begins to glow. The same like neon green, pulsating like
See,
faster and
what
faster.
did I say? They're
Uh,
fucked. They are
um,
fucked.
On the inside, it's the same pulsating light, but you feel fine. You don't feel like, like the epilepsy warning sort of thing. Like that doesn't happen. But you do clearly see like the pulsing green light, and there's a large bright flash, and then silence. And Dr. Fawkes looks at the two of you and says, "Well, I suppose we're here."
Where are we?
Vadim and Larissa go to whispers.
Woot.
Yay.
There they go.
I
Okay.
am terribly terrified. Okay.
So, Dr. Fawkes looks at the two of you, and after Larissa asks where you are, he looks around and says, I believe we're in the future.
How far into the future?
And he looks at the number pad and says, it's hard to say. At least 10 years into it. If my calculations are correct, we haven't gone that far.
I have a question. If I were to see my future self, what would happen? Could I interact with them? Her?
And you see Dr. Fawkes like looking out the window as you're asking this, and he says, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about that.
Why
And
not? And I
you
look
see
out.
him like open the door, and in front of you it's just like a barren earth. Like it looks like it was exactly where you were, except everything around you is dead. There's no trees, there's no bushes, there's no grass. It is a very rocky terrain, and it is almost deafeningly silent. And he says, peculiar, and walks out.
Doctor, you should probably not go out there considering everything is dead. You might die and then we won't get back.
And he says, well, there doesn't seem to be any life. And you see him
Yeah.
like looking around and pull out like what is, why am I spacing on that? The wooden thing you write on. Not a notepad.
Notebook?
No, not a notebook.
Tablet?
A clipboard. A goddamn clipboard. That's the one. Pulls out like a clipboard, and you see him like begin like writing on it and like looking around like, this is fascinating. I've never seen this before. This must be some kind of a alternate future, perhaps. And he's like slowly like kind of getting like wandering a little further away from the pod, like, you know, every few seconds.
I step out. Doctor, don't go too far away. You might not find the way back. Be careful.
And he turns around and says, oh, yes, I don't plan on going much further than this. And he turns around and you just see him like crouching down and not like picking up, but like kind of sifting through like the sand and rocks and debris that are on the ground, and says, most of this looks like concrete or asphalt even. And you see like in the distance there's like a destroyed bridge, the bridge that you had gone over previously between Arkham and Ipswich.
I ask him, are you sure this isn't further into the future than you thought?
What's that?
Accent is turning more strange than Russian. I was asking.
Yeah, that's like super thick. I couldn't understand it.
What is? How do you know that we went 10 years into the future and not 100?
And he says, well, because I put in a date for 1940.
So it's 1920 exactly, like
No, it's 1930. It's like February of 1930.
Oh, okay,
right?
no, okay.
Yes, 20 plus 10 is 40.
Shush. I thought you said 20. Okay, so I asked him, well then, is it possible you got something wrong, or is that there's?
And he says, by all accounts, this should be accurate. This is 1940. But that's why I can't help but think it's some kind of an alternate timeline, because the world like should not be this far gone in only 10 years.
I have another question for you.
And he says, yes. You see him
ever-
like writing on his clipboard.
Have you ever seen a strange sun-like creature?
And he says, besides carvings and ancient ruins, no, not in person, if that's what you're asking. And he,
For
like-
non-related reasons, I'm going to look to the sky.
and he's like continuing walking, and you just hear like fascinating, and like him like drawing on the clipboard.
How do you know it did not destroy this place?
And he's like half distracted and like looks at you and says, what now? What destroyed this place?
A strange creature of some sort, or solar event.
And he says, well, I can't really be certain. Who knows? This timeline may have been laid to waste by nuclear weapons or all-out war. Who knows?
We don't know for sure, but I feel like if literally everything around here is dead, we should probably leave soon, because whatever happened here might have a lasting effect around on the environment.
And he says, yes, that is true. I simply wanted to give a demonstration. It's too bad your friends couldn't come to see this.
Yeah, I'm very impressed, but we should go back.
And he says, yes, of course. After you, and motions for you to go ahead and head back to the pod. And he's
Yeah, I
like
step
slowly
into
starts
it.
walking towards it. So yeah, you get back into the pod. And as you do, Dr. Fawkes starts typing in one of the, or on the keypad, and says, okay, then, home we shall go. And types in the number and goes to push the green button. And as he does, you see that he gets ripped out of the pod.
Oh.
Yay!
And you just hear him, like, screaming in the distance.
Wait, is it after you press the button?
No, he hasn't pushed the button yet.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna... do I see where he went?
No. All you see is that it seemed like he was, like, yanked out by his foot. And
Okay, is he still
gone.
screaming?
No, it is silence now.
Okay, well, in that case, he's dead. I'm gonna close the door and push the button.
Okay. So yeah, you close the door and push the button, and the light begins pulsating again, brighter and brighter and brighter, and then the bright flash once again, and you feel like a little bit of like
Motion
almost like dizziness. Yeah, like motion sickness, like dizziness. You have to like kind of get your composure for a second, and the pod doors are still closed.
Alrighty.
Okay, there's a window, right?
Yes, there is a window on
Okay,
the
if I look out, what do I see?
door. You see the basement of Dr. Fox's house. And,
Nothing out of the ordinary?
From what it seems, no.
Okay,
Everything
I'm gonna-
seems normal.
Okay, I'm going to open the door and step out.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay like just plastered against the wall.
So yeah, as you walk out, the light is still pulsating green as the door like hisses open and slowly opens up. We can go back to Town Square now.
Fuck are you all doing? What the fuck are you all doing? What's this music? Why do I hear buzzing? Why do I hear mouth
So
Yeah.
you see the pod. Previously, it was pulsating, and then just like a bright flash overtook all of you, and you kind of had like that disorientated feeling for a second. They were gone for probably no more than 5 seconds, and the pulsating like boop, 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 like happened again, and then the bright flash once again, and like you see the pod doors like and like open up slowly, and you see the silhouette of 2 people coming out with like the glowing neon light behind them.
The word silhouette scares me.
2 people?
2 people?
Vadim? Larissa?
Larissa?
Yes?
Oh, thank God! And she runs up to you and hugs you. And she's like, "Is everything all right? What happened?"
Okay, so, everything went well, I guess. It was interesting. The future was a big wasteland. Nothing was alive. No trees, no humans.
That's not
We
good.
saw the bridge and it was destroyed. We went to, we just looked around a bit and then we went back into the pod and the doctor put in the calculations to go back here. But before he pushed the button, he got yanked out and it was just dead silent. He didn't even scream or anything, so I panicked and closed the door and pushed the button.
No.
I don't know what's happened.
As
How
you're
can
explaining,
be sure?
Oh, I'm glad that you're all right, though.
as you're explaining all of this, the hum from the machine begins to get louder, and you just hear like a.
I run, grab my cane sword, and then stab the power box to
No.
the machine.
You what?
you
You're
runs
so
away.
Can
scared.
I?
You are
Runs
still
away.
frightened of sharp objects,
Can I
and your
roll a
cane
power
sword-
check?
No, you were
No?
still frightened of
Right.
sharp objects, and your cane sword is not here. It's been taken.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
on the,
Raymond
sword
has
board.
it.
Your cat, no, the
No, I
don't.
sword is
No, they
stashed
don't.
underneath a
Yeah,
bed.
it's stashed
Oh, I
somewhere.
did not hear that. Okay.
Yeah.
I say to Oswald then, grab your gun, shoot the power box.
Yeah, no, I'm
and
not.
the
gonna-
I'm
glow-
gonna run
the
over there and
glow-
take out the totem thing he put in.
and the glow
Yeah, I'm
like
also running.
and the glow inside of the pod begins to like get brighter, Larissa, you're pulling out the totem.
I think we should
I,
run.
should I?
Do it.
Oswald is already to the stairs. He is not looking back. He is
In that case, I am behind
Uh,
Oswald.
fuck, should I?
Yes.
No,
I'm not.
just
no,
try.
Wait,
get-
I'm doing
Yeah,
it, I'm
I'm-
doing it. Fuck it, I'm doing it.
You get to the stairs and go to open the door, and it is locked.
No.
Raymond gives not a fuck.
Larissa, you go to pull out the idol, and like a green lightning comes out from the machine and zaps your hands, and you take a point of damage.
Are there
Are you
hinges
okay?
on this side of the door? Or are they on the other side of the door?
What's that?
Are there
I-
hinges on this side of the door or the other side of the door?
There aren't any more.
They're on the opposite side of the door.
I have attempted to put a hole through this door.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll for it. Okay.
I
You're,
did.
We already did, yeah.
Go to
Two.
extreme success.
After
Okay.
green zap, I'm just gonna run up back to them because I am terrified.
okay. So yeah, you punch through the door and like bust it open.
Do
and
I
it, like,
notice the
when-
green zap?
I would say no.
Do
Probably. not.
I notice the green zap since Raymond's fucking breaking down the door? I'm looking back, making sure everyone's okay.
I would say yeah. You probably would.
Like, okay, let's leave that alone, and
and
we're
the-
leaving, and we're leaving.
And the hum from the machine is getting like more steady, like boom, 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 boom. And you can feel almost the ground vibrating. And soon, like the glow from the light is just so bright it overtakes you. And as you like come out through the cellar door, it's like a visible stream of light coming out of the basement.
If I reach into the bag and not pull it out, but if I just touch the Necronomicon, is there anything going on with that? Is that all right? Is that okay?
The Necronomicon is currently vibrating and shaking.
Oh well, that's not good. And Oswald will kind of like run ahead a little bit, kind of like go around a corner,
And
really
like-
quickly pull it out.
okay, and as you're doing this, you hear an audible silence. Despite like the hum from the machine, the whoop, 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 whoop. Like it's just slowly drowned out, and it's almost like a deafening silence you hear.
Oh.
And you hear like
Reading
coming
faster.
from the basement is a voice.
Reading faster.
And it is echoing within your very being. And
Do I recognize this voice?
roll an occult check. Sorry, what did you get?
A 42 versus 60. Success.
Yeah, this voice is very familiar. You heard it in your vision that you had at the motel. The voice would also be familiar to Vadim, who has also heard this. And you don't know who it is, but you know that you've heard this voice before. You hear coming from the basement, the voice booms again, and Oswald feels it, directed at him and vibrating throughout his entire body. And
Oh.
it says,
Nice.
Can I like?
and you feel it like piercing like your very being.
Yeah, no. And
Um,
Oswald's saying all of this out loud. He's like, no, I'm actually just going to see if there's something in here. And he's just like flipping through the book frantically.
I'm gonna hide around the same corner. Oz is kind of like, almost like, as much as protecting you can get from beings.
From being what?
I don't know. I mean, it's a unspeakable horror of an nth dimension. I don't know what it can do. So I'm
and
just
actually-
attempting to protect
And
it.
actually, all of you roll sanity for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as
Fuck.
and as Raymond says, "No, I don't think I will." You hear
Fuck, yes, I failed it.
Compared to the things outside time and space, I will crush you myself.
Hurry the fuck up, Oz.
I'm trying. I'm looking. I also failed that sanity check.
Yeah.
As
Yeah, we all like.
So
Almost
that
all
Peter
of us,
is
succeeded.
except
Me and Peter
1,
succeeded.
2,
Yep.
3,
for computer, yeah.
4. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. Or actually, here, let me roll for that. So 4 sanities. Okay, so all 4 of you fail.
Yeah.
6, 6, 7, and 9, respectively.
Well, could you for who's for what? Huh?
It is Larissa, Raymond, Ruby, and
Yeah.
Oswald who failed.
Damn, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that order,
7?
6, 6, 7, 9.
Yeah. Okay.
Seven,
So what?
okay, 7.
And
So we all have to roll, right? We all roll D100.
yeah, well, hold on, because the rest of you take. Okay, so the first success was Peter. You take 5 off the bat.
Damn.
Since I get a hard success, do I take even less?
And the rest of you take 3 and 2. So even like those that passed, just Peter, I mean. So go ahead, Peter, roll a D100 too.
alright.
So we all gotta roll one.
Yeah. Whoever failed, roll a D100.
64.
50.
54.
Clean 60.
Hey, we're all right there. All neighbors.
Oh, Peter's 22. That's scary.
Okay. Oswald, you believe that you have extra imaginary appendages, and you try to use them. You try to use like whatever extra limbs you can, whenever you can,
Alright,
which
so,
obviously never works.
So right now Oswald is like reading through the books, and in his mind he's got like 6 other fingers pointing to different lines on the page, and he's like
Yeah.
frantically reading through all of them at the same time. It's like, I've got this. I've got this. I've got
Exactly. Larissa, you begin getting irrational, talking about your past and commenting on everything in weird ways, using terms like madness, the darkness, the void.
this. Oh, so nothing changed.
Larissa's still doom and gloom. Everything's hopeless. Life is a lie. Nothing is
Ruby,
real.
You have been afflicted with a blutophobia, a fear of bathing, washing, and cleaning.
Wow. Great.
Wow, Ruby's gonna smell shit for the next few weeks.
Fuck off.
Blue, you begin to find the most inconvenient thing, Raymond, you begin to find the most inconvenient things to be absolutely hilarious. Bursting into catatonic state of laughter, no matter like what's going on. pretty
Laughing
much.
If
so
if
hard
something
you fall
is
on the ground.
somewhat inconvenient,
Inconvenient circumstances. So like, if you guys are trying to run out the room and like somebody falls and trips and like
That's hysterical, dude.
is
So
left
that
like
kind of like
that is like
horror
fucking
movie
hilarious.
irony almost.
Jackass is your favorite movie of all time.
Nice.
Peter.
Does an interdimensional being trying to kill us count as a minor inconvenience he would laugh at?
Yes, it would.
Probably.
I think that's a
fuck,
minor
we're
inconvenience.
dead.
Peter, you begin listing a long line of grievances against your current party members. Anything you might have found irritating, annoying, unpleasant, unlikable, like it's all coming to
Wow.
light. It's all coming to light right now.
But Peter's
Oh.
been so nice until
Yeah.
Why did
He is the most
Larissa go into there?
Here's how
all
the
them
Japanese man really feels.
They're always good thing.
And from the basement of Dr. Fox's house, you hear like a thum, like very loud
oh, it's coming to get us.
step.
Can I
Of
roll
something
to read
large.
this book that I've been frantically reading?
Oh, you better hurry the fuck up, man.
I'm reading this book a lot. Can I roll?
You're reading the Necronomicon?
I pull out the Necronomicon. And I
Roll
read it.
another sanity for me.
10-4.
Oh, can I have another peek
Oh,
at what's coming up
yeah,
after us?
the
Okay,
Nice.
cool. So yeah, you pull out the Necronomicon and begin like reading through it.
Can I have another peek at what's coming after us?
Sure. Roll spot hit.
No.
Wow.
You have no idea, but it sounds large, slimy.
Oh,
and
we're fucking jammed.
You hear like
Anything in the
almost
book?
like
Fuck.
the sound of like suction cups, like,
Oh,
but like many of them.
Fuck
I
yeah.
already know
I-
is fire. Fire is very good. Use that if you can. Get some
Oh.
lamps. Get that going. I'm looking for whatever I can find. Is there
Looks like
anything
'em.
I find within the Necronomicon Ex Mortis that can help us right here? Something that's like, hey, read this to kill the giant fleshy thing that comes out of the portal. Something like that. That'd be good.
Right. So roll an occult.
10-4.
Can I too, as I am
I'm using my
hunched
luck
over?
points. No, luck points. It's 1. Luck points.
Yeah, you can use luck.
I've got a lot of those, so I'll use to make that a success.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you read through the Necronomicon, and a specific passage comes to your sight. It almost seems to flip automatically to it. And you should have the handout for that.
That is Necronomicon page.
Yes.
So it's just the image of the thing with all the writing on it.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh, sick. This isn't helpful at all. Is there anything on this page I can like decipher and see like what this thing is exactly?
Roll another occult check.
yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
That's my shit
so,
right there. That's my shit.
So you begin like reading through the Necronomicon on this page that it's landed on, and you try to almost reverse engineer like what's written here, giving off or given like what you read on the previous page at the motel. And as you do, you kind of like start to piece it together a little bit, and you get like a rough translation. There are 2 possibilities.
Oh no,
Oh, this shit again.
not again.
Oh, now I gotta pull up. I actually have to pull up my notes from last session. Shit.
And it's hard to tell which one it is.
Vikna Extrada Bala Baradas. Vikna Shogoth Exadur. This is different from last time for sure. None of these are words that I know of, at least.
Sorry, as this is all happening, would Peter be able to evacuate the rest of the staff, the maid, Geralt, and Jermaine?
You can like tell them what's going on and roll a persuasion.
Yeah, he'll try that.
Fast talk, I guess. Persuasion, fast talk.
Okay.
Can I ask those? Are you reading those aloud?
Yes, no, Oswald is saying everything out loud.
Okay.
So he's like, which one is it? I don't know it. Vikna Extrada. Bana Baradas? It sounds like a band I used to listen to. What the fuck? Shogoth? What the fuck is a Shogoth?
I got good feelings about the second one, if I'm honest.
The second one?
Exodore definitely sounds a bit like Exit.
Exit door. You're right. You genius. Oswald just shakes his head and goes back to thinking.
And at this point, I probably took out a small bottle of alcohol from the first aid kit in my lighter.
It's like, oh yeah,
Okay.
and then he reaches into his bag and throws up the other one. Ray, and then chucks it into the air.
Yeah.
A bottle of the alcohol that he stole from the hospital. A giant bottle.
Ray instantly stops laughing as they have found a.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire good.
Yeah, I get that. He takes the bottle and the lighter.
What was the persuade for, Peter?
It was for
The
the
evacuation.
trying to evacuate the other staff, other people. from there.
Right. Okay. So yeah, they're kind of looking at you, confused by like the commotion that's already going on, and don't really pay you any mind. They're like kind of running and scrambling around themselves.
There's something happening downstairs. Dr. Fawkes is missing. You must leave now.
And the entire house is beginning to like vibrate and shake, and you just hear like the timber of the house itself just like beginning to groan, like, and
Like, this is not good, and I have no idea. Hey, science boys, you guys work for a university. You want to take a crack at this? I have no idea what this means.
I think only Vadim's there right now.
Peter's off running and shit.
in fact,
hey,
you
rush
guys
in.
are, like
Rush
back
in.
Yes?
in the main house.
Yeah.
Come here. And he lists off Vicna Extrada, Ana Baradas, or Vicna Shogoth Exador.
Gotta be honest. Is that any Russian?
None of that's Russian. None of this is Russian.
Why
I
are you
would know
saying
if
it
this
to me
was
then?
Maybe you work for
Literally
a
none of
fucking
these words like
university.
translate to any language any of you have ever like heard
Yeah.
of, spoken,
I-
or read.
Is
convey
there
that to him.
anything I can try to
Can I roll?
cross-reference, realize? anything?
I know what a Shoggoth is. I was wondering if my character would know.
Probably not.
Can I
I
make
know
a
it's a
roll?
monster in Destiny 2.
Nice, I didn't know that. I guess roll an occult if you want.
Woo!
Well, okay.
Oh, nice. That was very close.
Does any of that ring true to my occult training as well?
Roll occult as well if you want to know. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, immediately the name Shoggoth does ring a bell. It's not something like an animal that you've ever seen. It is an entity, a force of nature that you've only ever heard of. Almost always linked to the occult.
Is it made of a bunch of eyes and teeth?
Yes, it is an amorphous blob made up of constantly bursting bubbles that has eyes in them, and it is just a mass of teeth and different limbs from seemingly different creatures.
Ah, so-
And
And this would be its name then, yeah? So,
Avi.
do we
You're the
say this
expert.
one, or do we... Oh, Christ.
I'm for the second one, not gonna lie.
Well, if we assume, then that would mean the first one, the meteorite's name, or at least that creature, was Baradur. Because the other one started Vikna Baradur, Sestaklatul Varaduk. But this is Vikna Shogoth Exador. So it includes his name, but that's assuming that it's Baradur. Second one then? Yeah,
This-
and he looks around the group, like for the first time, asking for everyone's input.
I'd say
I
second
don't
one.
know. I'm not.
Yeah, second one.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess.
I'm ready to torch the void, nothing, interdimensional, whatever, into oblivion if I have to.
Raymond just looks broken at this point.
At this point, Peter's having flashbacks of the burning house, and he goes to the dining room and gets the rolling cart of alcohol and brings it back, and he says to the group, "I have an idea."
Well, let's
You
real
crafty
quick,
bastard.
and then just like looks down at the book. Like, do we want to give this a shot first before
Do
we get
something.
crazy?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, let's
All right.
Do anything.
the chance before the fire, I guess.
I am a gambling man, and then he looks down at the book, but then he looks up, and then he looks at Ruby, and then he tries to like brush some of the hair out of her eyes with an arm that isn't there, so nothing moves.
okay.
Who are you?
Um, all the while,
Very
you
confused.
hear this like sucking sound, like coming down the hallway, just
Shoggoth,
do-
not right now!
Can I do another spot hidden or try and look at it?
Oswald, do something.
Yes,
Fuck,
go ahead.
Right
Please.
now.
Oh,
Blind.
Ray,
it's
are we
still pitch
looking?
black down there.
It's still
fair,
unknown to you,
alright.
but what you do make out is a black mass that is roughly the exact same size and dimensions of the hallway, just coming down it
Oh.
very quickly.
So,
So,
if I were to
Oswald,
throw a lighter at it, I couldn't miss.
What's that?
If I were to throw a lighter at it, I couldn't miss.
I mean, it'd be tough to, but I mean, you might be able to make it, yeah.
anything's possible.
Anything's
With the
possible.
power of prayer. No, just kidding.
Wait, I have a question.
With the
Did
power
I
of
ever
Jesus.
get a good look at this thing?
None of you have gotten a good look at it yet.
Fuck
You've
it,
only-
I'll try and look at it. Fuck it.
Okay.
Can I also try to look at it?
Sure.
Just to be sure, we do have one. We do have an additional lighter, right?
Fuck.
Nah, Jesus.
I've one.
Yeah, we do.
Oswald
Yeah.
smokes, so yes.
Cool. In that case, I'm gonna throw my alcohol bottle at the hallway mass and the lighter. Oh,
Okay.
can I do that thing you do with lighters, where if you take the knob on the end and twist them round, the flame goes bigger, so it's more likely to ignite?
Okay. So
Increase
yeah,
the
go
flow.
ahead and do you have like a thing for essentially
I'll
like
be
a
right back.
Molotov cocktail?
I have throw.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the bottle shatters on impact, and you throw the lighter, and this creature lights up in flame. And for the first time, you see it.
Oh god.
Raymond, and Larissa, because Vadim was trying to see it too. So the three of you see it now. Go ahead and roll sanity.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck.
Oh. Oh.
Boy, that
Yikes.
sucks.
Boy, does it.
Yeah, it
Corny
does.
connection.
Oswald, with his back to it, as
So-
they're going insane, is beginning to read it. But-
Corn, go ahead and roll a sanity for me.
Corn is. Oh. Is he back? Corn? Okay.
Okay. So,
oh.
Just
Sanity, dude.
Larissa,
29,
you take 9 sanity, and
Oh, I am definitely insane.
Yo, join the club, partner.
yeah, and Raymond, you take 8.
Ollie did
Oh.
say that he's going through the passage now, so yeah, like properly.
What's that?
Oswald
you're
said he's going
looking
to.
right into it. But right at that exact same moment, Oswald is reading out from the book. Vikna, Shoggoth, Exadu. I assume it gives him a Spanish accent. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
But he reads it out.
My
and
name
it's like-
is Zoro.
He's like grabbing the book and it's vibrating him, and his voice is going deeper because he's scared.
Okay. So
And he
yeah,
reads the second.
Ruby's like holding onto his arm.
you
scared.
read the passage, and the bright neon light that had emanated from the machine begins like coming up through every crack in the floorboard, every orifice and hole that it possibly could, and it's just
Let's
like
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
broken
Oswald grabs
bars
Ruby by the
of,
arm and starts running.
okay.
Raymond
it's
grabs
like-
both of them under his arms and starts.
okay.
Ruby grabs Larissa
well, hold on. First off,
Passing.
Larissa and Raymond roll D100 for me.
Yeah, there you go.
What kind
Already
of crazy
prepared.
did you do?
56.
56.
26.
Raymond, you now have herpetophobia, a fear of creepy, crawly things.
Oh, that's lovely. We're being creepily crawled after.
Pretty sure we're already scared of that, so we're good.
It's actually pretty inconvenient in this situation because that means we'll be running faster.
Does anybody in the group have black hair?
I do.
Uh,
Ruby does. Why?
Yes, Peter.
Ruby.
Me and
like-
Peter?
Uh,
So-
Pepper.
yeah,
Larissa
Brian.
is running and trying to keep up with the rest of the group, and she looks over and notices Ruby's beautiful black hair, and then looks behind her shoulder and sees Peter's beautiful black hair. You
Oh, I
now
think-
have an obsession with black hair and the people that have it.
Well, in that case, I'm running up to Ruby and just start kind of weirdly touching her hair.
I'm
Yeah,
running with her under my arm, so good luck.
Well,
Yeah,
in that
you-
case, I'll be running faster.
Yeah, you were like,
That's not the time.
You know, Princess Carrie Peter. 'Cause
even
you're-
even
You're
even
both
if you're not,
diamonds lift over my shoulder.
even if you're not like up to where Ruby is, or even if like Raymond's carrying her like off like ahead of you, you're like trying your damnedest to get to her. Either that or Peter, like
I
one,
like to
one of the
just-
two, but you were like after one of them.
Okay, wait, consider what's definitely insane again. Does it mean that the metal disorder lasts for like several months? I think
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, this lasts indefinitely
Nice.
until you visit a sanitarium.
Okay.
To paint a picture of Raymond right now, he's got a person like over each shoulder and under each arm. He's just sprinting out, laughing to him.
Raymond,
laughing, but tears
Hey.
down his face because
Yes.
he's terrified.
Raymond, roll me a dexterity.
Ooh, a dexterity.
Yeah.
Please, please,
I have
please,
it
please.
wrong.
I'm begging you, I'm begging you. No!
Use your luck. Use your luck.
How much luck do I have?
Okay, so as you're running, out of
I
nowhere.
will look up that 67 or 60.
Okay. So as you're running down the hallway, you feel briefly Ruby, like, almost being pulled out of your hand, or your arms, and you look back and see your hand, crawling on the ground with, wrapped around her ankle and currently, like, trying to rip her out of your grasp.
Wow,
The
great.
hand is still, like, pale and, like, deep blue, like, green, infected-looking veins.
Fucking traitor! And he
Like,
to be-
Oswald's gonna pull out his gun and try to shoot.
Hold
the wrist.
on!
Hold on, my...
To be
Like,
clear, it does weigh the same amount as my hand does.
Can Ruby, like, try to kick it off?
Sure, roll a strength.
So it's not impeding me running necessarily, right?
Come on,
and-
come on.
Uh,
Shit!
Ruby and Raymond, go ahead and roll another sanity for me.
Ugh.
Well, I'm also being carried. I'm right there. Should I roll one too?
Nice, but
Yeah.
like not nice.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Nice, but not nice.
Considering that I'm kind of obsessed with
Nah.
Ruby's hair, and that's kind of I guess technically also Ruby's safety, because you know if the tentacle monster gets us, I can't admire her hair. Can I just I guess does that give me enough motivation to catch up to them and rip off the hand so it won't, or like fight it or something?
You can run up to it and roll a strength.
I will.
Raymond,
Baseball,
you take 3 sanity.
How much do I take?
Nice. Okay, do we
Okay,
make the
three.
roll? Okay, do we make the roll that we can re-roll 69s?
Is that getting sanity damage, like?
But yeah, you try to pull the hand off, but it just has like unbelievable strength just for being like a severed hand.
Can I try again to kick it off?
Sure, go ahead.
Come on. Jeez. Okay, you know what? I looked that up. I looked that up.
I shoot it with my gun.
Don't, dude. It's on my.
I don't
Uh.
shoot it. It's close enough. Wait, no, it's close enough because it's right there, so I get to roll twice. Damn it.
That's worse.
Okay.
You should-
So yeah,
That's not
as
even
you
a
go to
personal
like
thing,
shoot
that's a
the,
rage thing.
as you go to like shoot the sand, your gun jams.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Can I try one more
Before-
time?
And all the while you still hear the or no, because you read the passage, correct?
Yeah, I read
Yeah.
the second passage.
So you do hear like a groaning and crying of pain, like coming from like the hallway, the basement area.
Yeah. Yeah. Eat shit.
But at the same time, the house has begun to vibrate violently,
Ray.
and
Ray, faster,
you
Ray.
feel and you feel like you feel the vibrations from the force behind everything, just whoop, 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 like getting like faster and faster.
Looking back, is everyone following me in quick pace?
Well, I'm being carried, so
Yes.
I'm actually up here.
Yeah.
Before everyone started running, Peter would remove his shirt and burn it, and put it on top of the cart of alcohol and push it towards the
fuck
thing.
yeah. Is he ripped?
Yes.
Is Peter hot?
Is Peter
Is
hot?
And yeah,
hot?
Peter
It
shredded.
he's shredded. He's got some burn marks, and he uses
yeah.
some of the fire to light his last cigarette.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. That's epic.
Sayonara, and he runs towards the
yeah.
And you-
bad.
And you see the cart like rolling towards the black mass in the hallway, and it reaches it, and all of the liquor and fire just dumps onto it, just showering it in flames. And you hear like a sizzling, like as it's like cooking. And at that point, all its entire mass engulfs the flame and puts it out, and you see like its mass just like shoot out in a bunch of tentacles down the hallway at all of you.
Oh Jesus.
All of you go ahead and roll dex.
Oh no.
I'm
Yes.
gonna fail.
So,
Can
I
because I'm
just-
carrying
can
two
I-
people. Because
I'm
I'm
gonna-
carrying
I'm
two
gonna-
people, can I
If we get to the
Do I
door,
use my
Oswald
dex?
would have break
Okay,
Yeah.
can I use my luck points and roll that down to a 55?
for a
you only get-
93?
Can I push my roll?
I got 44 luck points left.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you can push it. But
Alright.
Well,
No!
You can look
No,
like
you
that.
can't. You cannot luck a pushed roll.
Oh no, you can't.
Why
Yeah,
did you
unfortunately.
use your luck points? You don't need them anymore.
Oh. Okay, yeah, you know what? If I can, I'll dump all the luck points into 40.
Well, you already rolled.
No.
Mike, it's up to Mike.
Up to Mike.
Is that up? Can he add the luck point to the previous roll? Or
If I
does he
knew
have
that,
to
that
take
wouldn't
the
have
reroll?
Yeah, I also look mine down.
If I knew, I could use
I mean, I'm being carried, but like still.
I assume we like loosen ourselves out to dodge.
I mean, I'm dodging anyway, so.
Yeah, I dodged too.
One of the tentacles shoots out and wraps around Ruby's leg and yanks her out of Raymond's arm.
Can I
Begin
contest
dragging-
the strength of that?
Sure.
Can I try to
let me,
unjam my gun?
28.
Extreme success on the Shoggoth's end, so
No.
he
That is a
definitely
shame.
I can't.
Uh,
I locked my thing down. I said.
I mean, Ruby, you can react. You can roll a strength to try to break out of it if you
Yeah.
want.
I can't see.
I mean, then you can luck that one down if you didn't get the chance to luck the last one.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna I look that down to 40.
Okay. So yeah, as you're like ripped out of Raymond's arm, you manage to like grab onto his arm at the very last second, with the Shoggoth like pulling you back, and you feel like you're not going to be able to hold on for much longer.
The GIF in general is now Ruby and Raymond. Just two rippling biceps grabbing each other's arms.
Except for you're like panicking in terror and I'm flashing in your
As
face.
they're doing that, Oswald's trying to. I guess he'll try to bust open the door like Ray did earlier, and he'll luck that down to make it a success since it's only 2 off.
Okay. And you're breaking open the front door?
Yeah, just get it open. Whatever it takes, just fucking run up, drop, kick it, all of my little weight.
Okay. Ruby, I will say that the tentacle is still wrapped around your leg, but you haven't been yanked away.
May
I have an
I?
idea. I take the a small bottle of alcohol I still have. I pour it over the tentacle and light it on fire.
That's gonna leave marks.
Yes, I'm sorry.
The tentacle sears a bit on the outside, and then you see the bubbling mass just overtake it and
Doesn't care about fire
basically
then.
heal over it.
Considering that it was searing for a bit, that means it did take a little bit of damage, which means it
Can I,
was weak.
can I
A
do
bit,
another?
but
Can I do another?
nothing.
Can I do another strength?
It took a little bit of damage, but not much.
Okay,
sure.
can I help Ruby with the strength? Because I want her black hair.
Can I tug of war
Okay,
with
you know
the-
what?
the
Sure,
sugar?
yeah. Yeah, we'll say that you're so obsessed with Ruby that you're trying everything you can to rip her out of the tentacle of this thing. So Ruby, go ahead and roll twice.
Oh damn.
Come on.
There it
That's good.
is.
Okay, well, but success.
Okay. So you manage to, like, rip your leg away from this tentacle, and the tentacle, like, snaps off, and then it grows back out to another perfect tentacle on the end that got ripped off.
Alright,
And,
ladies, gentlemen, outward we
the
go.
thing
to
is still, like,
homeward bound
wrapped
we be.
around your leg.
Let's go, Ruby,
Out
go.
the
I-
door,
I, like,
one
shake
by
the
one,
rest of
two
the-
by two. Oswald's running out the door he kicked open.
And just, Ruby's also
And,
like,
yeah,
if Raymond's
and as
not
you're,
going
like, running and, like, jumping, like, getting out of the front door and basically, like, out of this mansion, you just hear, like, a boom, 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 and then dead silence, and
Oh, fucking.
and you were just showered in green neon light, and as it, like, explodes out, it gets sucked back into itself and then disappears.
The whole house or just the thing?
The whole house, everything.
Is there like a crater where the house was?
Is there like
Yes, there's a shallow, like, 4-foot crater.
Is the side of the house where all the bedrooms are? Did that get sucked in too?
Everything.
My cane sword!
Our stuff was in there.
Is that really the most important thing right now?
Everything is gone, and it's literally just a barren crater.
My
with-
money!
Everything includes the thing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, do I still have my hat?
Did that
Yeah.
happen?
You're
Roll for
wearing your
chaos?
Did the
Did you
hat
ever do-
survive?
Roll
Did you ever-
dexterity for the hat.
Did you ever take it off and leave it in
I
your
never
room?
took it off.
Then yeah, the hat
Did
survived.
the, sta-
Yes!
did the staff make it out?
No, the staff was under
No.
Peter's bed.
Yeah.
Standing
Okay,
up from having leaped onto the floor with a person. Raymond is now again laughing, but now just kind of in.
But yeah, no, the staff did not make it out. Jermaine did not make it out, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Fawkes, like,
Jermaine.
for sure did not make it out.
Happy ending. Jermaine died.
Larissa and Vadim can attest that, yeah, Dr. Fawkes did not make it.
Yeah,
Raymond,
he did.
sweetheart, could you let me down? Is it Raymond, sweetheart, could you let me down?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure,
sorry.
it is quite cozy up here, actually.
I like sit them both down.
And as you get out and take in the fresh air, you see a shadow begin to move across the sun,
What?
and look up and see a perfectly circular entity with tentacles coming off the radius and a squid-like mouth in the very center of its radius. And
You asked for this.
it completely blots out the sun, and you are engulfed in shadow.
Hey, Jermaine
I
died. I still count that as a happy ending. That's just me.
Raymond's previously joyous face instantly, and then returns as he starts laughing again.
I just start stroking Ruby's hair, while smiling, looking up at the thing.
And it is a large, fleshy mass. And as it, like, begins to blot out the sun, you just feel a deafening silence just overtake everywhere. Like, everything that you hear nothing. It's almost an audible silence, almost like the videos in space where you can hear the sounds of space, like, outside. It's like that.
There's nothing.
Ruby probably just falls into someone's, probably Oswald's arms, crying.
And that's where we'll go
Oswald's-
ahead and end it.